Welcome to the channel. I'm bringing all the truth, gotta shout it loud. In a world full of shadows, we shine bright. Unite and ignite, designed to be different, that's our aim. No judgment here, we're all the same. Infamous truth teller, we keep it real. A safe place to land, that's the deal. Join the movement, let's rise as one. In this journey together, we've only begun. Bad actors, take a seat. We call out the lies. Productive vibes, only watch us rise. Awareness we raise, got our eyes on the prize. Respectful opinions, let's be wise. In this digital jungle, we stand tall. Mindful of each other, respect is our call. Infamous truth teller, we keep it real. A safe place to land, that's the deal. Join the movement, let's rise as one. In this journey together, we've only begun. So come along and share your truth. In this community, we'll find our youth. Yo! Infamous truth teller, we keep it real. A safe place to land, that's the deal. Join the movement, let's rise as one. In this journey together, we've only begun.
Bear with me, guys, because I had to come on restream because my StreamYard, I had used up all my time for the month. I didn't even know they did that. So I don't know if you guys can hear me because I can't hear myself and I can't figure it out. I've been trying to figure it out and I'm like getting flustered. So if you guys can hear me, let me know. If you can't hear me, let me know. Okay, awesome. All right, so I'm just gonna start from the beginning, but if you guys want me to speed it up or slow it down, I'm just gonna play it because so I can kind of just gather myself because I was a little flustered right now trying to figure this out because I'm over here on Restream and I've never used Restream before. So I'm just gonna share the Just Saying video and then we'll go from there. Thank you.
While this video documents visual and auditory information, the significance, meaning, and context derived from it are subject to individual analysis, but should be treated as subjective interpretations, not indisputable facts.
whether it's Summer Wells' case, whether it's Michael Vaughn's case, whether it's the Watts case, whether it's any case where people have Sophie Long, you know, even though I think that's pretty much over, but the point is, like, it doesn't matter what we say or do at this point. Now that these cases has pretty much been infiltrated, they're never going to be about Michael Long. It's never going to be about not Sophie Long, I'm sorry, Michael Vaughn. I said Michael Long, Jesus. It's never going to be about Michael Vaughn. It's never going to be about Summer Wells anymore, because now it's all entrenched around it is the drama. It's like all the drama around it, the people who have involved themselves. That's what it's about. And going around trying to fight battles for these victims' family members is not helping them at all. It's keeping the drama going. Like, you may think that you are doing something good in this case, but you're just making it worse. And that's why I've asked the question in my, my title says, how far is too far when contacting victims' families? And is it really about you, like, finding awareness around these victims and getting to the bottom of what happened? Or is it about self-gain? I mean, let's be real.
So could you guys hear that? I don't know if you guys could hear that or not. Can you guys hear that? I apologize that I'm just a little flustered. I'm trying to gather myself. Yeah, I know it limits your I don't know. It limits, let's see. It limits your time, because it says you've reached, but it's already at the turn of the month, so I don't understand. So I wasn't gonna mess with it because I knew there's people waiting. So were you able to hear this video at all? So I gotta learn how to, like, resize everything and make it look better, I guess. So I'm gonna just continue to play it, and then if you guys have any issues, I'm just gonna pay attention to the chat. Okay? Thank you.
First of all, I'm not going to be a part of it. I'm not going to allow people to say what I can and cannot talk about. I'm not going to allow anyone to police my community and police my channel and tell us that we are not allowed to discuss Sebastian's case, or tell us that we're not allowed to discuss the specifics of the case, or tell us that we're not allowed to use hashtags for certain things. That's why my title is I Won't Take Part. If y'all want to police each other, and then it seems like, in my opinion, that a lot of people go along with this so they can fit in. And all that's going to end up happening is it's going to implode. It's going to implode. You're going to police each other to the point where nobody's going to be able to talk about true crime at all, because every time somebody opens their mouth, you find something wrong with it. I'm not doing it. If it means that I stand by myself and I have no friends, I'm not doing it. Who are you to say that I'm not allowed to talk about what Chris and Katie Proudfoot have said out of their own mouths? Who are you to say that I'm not allowed to discuss Sebastian multiple days at a time? Who made anyone the police or a hall monitor of YouTube? Is a real concern, a very real concern, when a judge can tell you that you're not allowed to speak about somebody. That right there. And if other creators want to say, I know what they're going to say already. Oh, that's what she gets. She deserves it. She harassed them, Brittany. Okay. Well, what if they go after you next? What if they go after you next? Because
we bite back, but we bite back in court. We bite back with the feds in a federal courthouse, not on X. Thank you to Stephen Fisher for accepting to speak with us, our attorney. And you want to host it on X? Let's do it. Again, we're not trying to have a circus, but we're setting the record straight, and a lot of these guys are going to end up in court to explain themselves. This might be my only live this week because I'm still obviously waiting to go through a few things that we are filing today, tomorrow. Today's Monday, yeah. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So all up until Friday, we have filings coming out, and until those are with the clerk of courts, there's a little bit of a zip tie on me, and Hong is going to continue taking over. Illuminati, I'm going to give you a clue about what's going to come, and it's called a federal injunction, not a cease and desist. We're going to drag you through the courts, and we're going to drag you in every state if you live in, and we're going to bring you to Tennessee, we'll bring you to New York, we'll bring you to Pennsylvania. We're going to sue Illuminati, especially because I can't stand that person. You made it on my radar with your little Illuminati. Come at me. Don't come at other people.
It with my own eyes.
Mm-hmm. Cajun Cutie says an injunction is a court order requiring a person to cease doing a specific action. There are 3 types of injunctions: permanent injunction, temporary restraining orders, and preliminary injunctions. Thank you. Very well said, Cajun Cutie. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave here and go on to Google. I wanted to go check it out too.
Yeah, I just never heard it worded that way, is all.
You can write a cease and desist on your own and serve somebody. And if they continue, then that's when you've got to step into the legal form and go into court and file and go from there.
The lawyer is representing Seth.
Okay.
And Nick.
So Nick said 4, that there are 4.
There's more coming. And threats came from.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I wonder if these creators have an idea that it's coming and that's why they didn't go live today.
Can I?
That connection. Have
We
you
never,
made that connection, Nick? Is that really Nick, y'all?
look, listen, we
Yes,
called
ma'am.
that shit. How many
Yes,
months
ma'am.
ago did we call it? How many months ago did we call that shit?
Yeah.
Yep. And were we not talking about that, Emmy?
We were
Are you
here.
going in my chat dropping bombs?
Or is that a comment? There was just a couple of other comments in here.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's not
yeah.
phone.
No, they're saying that's Nick.
That's it.
Okay.
Well, hello,
Okay,
Nick.
just checking.
Isn't that some crazy shit though? Like we called that shit out how many months ago? It's probably like 3 months ago now that we made that connection, and then everybody just kind of like let it go by the wayside, and
We're almost positive they're related, probably sisters or something. I'll tell you, it's certainly not. It is not a common name. That is for sure.
So I just wanted to say that how ironic is that how they said, "Oh, it's funny how they're all quiet and they didn't come alive today. They didn't nobody came live today, right?" It's funny how the tables turn and it comes around full circle to me. But like I said, I don't know if anybody's in here that wasn't in here earlier. I'm sorry it took forever, but this is Just Saying's video. This is from the Just Saying. I'll get her link and I'll put it in the chat. But I'm trying to figure out this restream because StreamYard cut me off for the month because I was recording. I have a little secret on how I screen record. So I filled up my memory bank or whatever you want to call it, my storage at StreamYard. So I had to like do a crash course with this restream with ADHD. So that was fun. I'm still feeling a little overwhelmed, but it's just funny how ironic how this comes around full circle. So just wanted to say that.
Sure.
listen.
Can y'all drop Nick's link, which I think we pretty much share it anyway because of fair use, but drop Nick's link in chat. This case was solved months ago.
This is so frustrating. Like, do I have to keep clicking back to restream? I'm about to figure this out because it's gonna frustrate me. But it says, but granting reviewing the father's own words from online interviews is worthy of legal action. And this guy Nick over here, let me take these closed captions off. Let me see. So this guy Nick over here he's a piece of work. And actually I have a lot of paperwork that nobody wanted to touch when all this stuff was going down. Like I have his transcripts from the court, like the court actual court transcripts from like every single word that was said in his hearing before he got convicted. I've got a whole bunch. I've got a plethora of stuff with this at night and stuff. But everybody was like, touching it, very sensitively. So I was trying to share it to people, and people were like, "Ugh," because they weren't sure. But I mean, I was doing research like there's no tomorrow, and I've got a lot of things that you could even make the connections from something prior to, like years prior. You could make the connections of a new. And I was trying to show people because I couldn't go live, So I was trying to help other people and try to give them that information, but I think it was making people nervous because I uncovered quite a bit, but I just sit back humbly in the back and just I like to observe as well. You know what I mean? To see other people's creations and how they interpret things or how things are, see it with a different set of lenses, I guess you could say. So, but I've been around for quite a while. But all right, I'm gonna let it play. If there's anything you want me to stop, I'll keep checking the chat and see. So, like I said, I have ADHD and I'm trying to figure this out. So just have a little grace and we'll be all right. Thank you. Okay, I think I'm figuring this out little by little. But I don't know how things are going. I'm over here on my phone trying to figure this out. I can't hear anything. I don't know if you guys can hear anything. Um, put a one in the chat if you could hear it. If you can't hear it, and maybe I'm just having my own struggle on my own struggle bus. Let me know. So many questions, right? Like who would sell dentures in a yard sale? It's stupid. Who would buy dentures in a yard sale? Oh my god, I would die. Oh shit. That Nick, are you talking about Nick? Could you hear the video or no? Okay. Could you hear the video playing or no? Because I couldn't hear it on my phone and I couldn't hear it on my TV, so I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. And I'm here by myself, so I can't even gripe at nobody. I have nobody to gripe at right now. Like and be like, put my frustrations in that direction. But it's probably better anyway. When you get frustrated, you kind of take it out on whatever's close by. But no, I'm just like, man, there's nobody for me to tell. There's not even a puppy to be like, hey, get out the way, or something, just to, but I'm good. You guys are awesome. You couldn't hear the video. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, that's why. Never mind. I'm not going to tell you. Let's see. Oh, wait. No, no, no. We're not going to do that. Let's see. I think because I put it on mute. Okay, I'll rewind it. Let's see. Yeah, I had it on mute. Let's see. That's mute. And then we have, we got to go over here. This is why. Oh, I figured it out. Let's see. I got to figure this out quick here. Okay, let me go on mute now.
Should do that receives one of them. It's not hard to be a decent human being. It's
Yeah, I saw somebody just ask, I don't know where it went. Any thoughts on why barbecue needs a federal lawyer? What would make something be federal? I don't know. Listen, I don't know. I have no idea. I know that barbecue, while on the panel with us the other night, it was like 7, 8 o'clock at night. She was speaking to her lawyer then. And then it turned out she needed a lawyer. Then you find out she already had a fundraiser, got over 1,000. So I don't know. What I do know is things are going to get ugly either way, right? So I think it's as simple. A lot of these people that are cheering this on are going to be surprised if it turns around and the same thing happens to them, right? Because the Proudfoots have every legal stand-in to do exactly the same thing. And I wonder then how many of them are going to be celebrating and cheering that on. Because right now it's all fun and games because it's people they don't like. Hell, I don't care if you like somebody or not. Trying to silence somebody and trying to silence like uh their channels and stuff, it's not okay, but I'm not surprised. It's gonna happen. um the thing is more personal connection over there, right? And everything that lawyer did state, I mean, we can go over that really quick, but everything he did state, I'm not guilty of. I'll tell you that. I stood up against calling Nick's parole officer. I stood up against the racism. I stood up against the rumors that the pants were Sebastian's. I've told people we need to start demanding receipts for things. So I don't know. I do know that it seems to be like this sort of payoff, if you will. Like, if you're on their quote unquote team, they're sending you super chats and you get to feel part of, and they're giving you exclusive interviews.
Yes, when I try to talk about it, everybody gets mad.
I'm
I
not mad.
love it. I just
There he is.
I'm
There he is.
myself.
He's so cute. Why does he have a little tear in his eye?
I don't know, probably because of the society.
So it says, by the way, as usual, BJ's story is not the truth. A truce was made between BJ and Granny. BJ then left the panel with Granny and went straight to her channel, went live, and spoke about Granny without getting muted. Without getting muted, yeah. She sure did. I think I remember seeing that too. Like actually seeing that transpire. So this says, and here we see Nick start promoting BJ's streams on his community post after the Ease interview with the attorney again, 9/18/2024.
Nobody asked them to stop covering Sebastian. Stop with the lies. If you're gonna lie, it doesn't make sense to do it when, again, at this point, it's clear there are lawyers involved. They're fake lawyers. Go with whatever you want to say. But the fake lawyers are sending you very real paperwork, and it's a lot longer than a sentence about Sebastian. It outlines the crimes alleged, and maybe you can discuss them. Maybe you can discuss the billboards. Maybe you can discuss the finances. Maybe you can discuss the tip lines. Maybe you can discuss those things as well. And then when you add all of that up, it makes sense as to why you were asked to stop, right? And this is out to the creator. The creator knows who I am addressing. It's not stop spreading awareness. And there's never time, literally, when they say that it's never too late to make amends, it's never too late. And the creators that received those notices, it's not the end of the world at all. Yes, YouTube received the copy. Yes, TikTok received the copy. Yes, they are complying with it, but the person that holds grudges. But if this is the time for us to unite, this is the time. And Clue Who and Barbecue too. Sorry for the Clue Who, it's just like a Blue's Clues. But again, let's come ahead to Blue's Clues.
I would like to remind you that these cease and desist, once again, Granny, are not in any way preventing you or anyone else from talking about Sebastian and the case. The only thing that these cease and desist are for the false allegations that are being levied at Seth Rogers and his team. That's it. You can talk about Sebastian all day long. So if Christopher Proudfoot and Katie Proudfoot were to present me with a cease and desist that were identical to this, then I would comply and make sure that I don't defame or falsely accuse them. But I would continue to talk about Sebastian like I think anybody else should do that receives one of them. It's not hard to be a decent human being. It's
Yeah, I saw somebody just ask, I don't know where it went. Any thoughts on why barbecue needs a federal lawyer? What would make something be federal? I don't know. Listen, I don't know. I have no idea. I know that barbecue, while on the panel with us the other night, it was like 7, 8 o'clock at night. She was speaking to
Okay, so this says she also has only been on the panel with barbecue one time at this point, and it was when she came up on QB's to talk about the GoFundMe. Granny hasn't seen this the C&D, and this is 2024. So I just wanted to kind of, we're going to sidebar a little bit and just, I'm going to show you a video that I created for barbecue when those billboards were going down and everything was transpiring and they were trying to say that she was, keeping the money and pocketing it. I don't know what she did. I wasn't her accountant, but I did, she put receipts out there on TikTok. So I went and I did some screenshots and I made a little video. So I just wanted to kind of just sidebar on something that I created too, because I don't want to just play this fully out because I'm struggling with the restream. So I'm going to play that real quick and then we can come back to this if that's all right with you guys. So it's showing the receipts to the billboard. So it's just basically, just showing that all the things that she paid for and all the billboards shows different states and cities and, everywhere. And people were taking pictures of the billboard, showing, wherever they were located. If they happened to be in that city and they seen one of the billboards, they take a picture of it just to show that it's actually there. It's a real thing. So let's see. We're going to stop here. And then we're going to go here. Let's see. So I'm going to go on mute and so this is the one that I created. So this is one that I've created and it was for barbecue and just kind of giving them props for all the money that they raised and for just the effort that they put in regards to Sebastian and trying to help. So here we go. Let's see. Let's see. Let me make sure I mute.
Tryna play me, they ain't no better. Perp on me, you can call me Chris Webber. Brand new whip with the brand new leather. But now I made plays, so they all look jealous. Oh my god, now they all look jealous. Brand new drip, hope they all got umbrellas. Y'all don't fit in, call them all Cinderellas. And I heard your last shit, dog, you can do better. You ain't got shit on me, homie, that's facts. I just bought a new crib, I buy another for the tax. We ain't in the same league, we ain't in the same bracket. I ain't made a joint yet, they already know it slaps. Now I need the dollars. Got a new girl and she look like Madonna. Found a new flow and it's hot like the sauna. Buying these stocks, I don't care about designer. Tryna play me, they ain't no better. Perp on me, you can call me Chris Webber. Brand new whip with the brand new leather. And now I made plays, so they all look jealous. Tryna play me, they ain't no better. Perp on me, you can call me Chris Webber. Brand new whip with the brand new leather. And now I made plays, so they all look jealous.
Staying high with the mace, tipping wine to the face. Drops hit me from the door, it's a line at the place. I'm at home in the mitten, I got ties in LA. I probably pull a packed crowd and a fly over stage. Lies spread quicker than the truth. If you always talking about me, they know more about you. Worry about to set the rest of on the place. If they don't pay me to respond, then I gotta walk away. B&B, elevation high, laying low. I'm with the 10 who's down to f***ing cook me shit I got from Trader Joe's. Say they making moves, but we making more. I stay in the zone, y'all just staying broke, way to go.
Tryna play me, they ain't no better. Perp on me, you can call me Chris Webber. Brand new whip with the brand new leather. And now I made plays, so they all look jealous. Tryna play me, they ain't no better. Perp on me, you can call me Chris Webber. Brand new whip with the brand new leather. And now I made plays, so they all look jealous.
Yeah, Ray Lake State and we make waves here. Running the point, I make plays like Shakespeare. Every day I make it a great year. So every year I feel like the day's near, yeah. Whole catalog made from a home stew. Quick scroll through like shopping at Whole Foods with the fresh produce. My shit is a whole mood. AEI, I don't owe you. Danny wrote through scoop. Yates alley-oop me another go-to. 2 video shoots, gotta look cute. Get my brand coupon, it's a lot of stunt doubles and they
Tryna play me, they ain't no better. Perp on me, you can call me Chris Webber. Brand new whip with the brand new leather. play me, they ain't no better. Perp on me, you can call me Chris Webber. Brand new whip with the brand new leather.
Yeah, so I created that right when they were all up on barbecue, and I said, you know what? I said, nobody's giving nobody we giving, just give her some credit, like we don't have. It's good to be transparent, but like how she was trying to explain, and I'm not here about nickel and diming and all this and that. The intention was there, and I don't know, you know what what where every dollar went, but you know what? I think she did an amazing job. She did a lot more than a lot of other people. You know what I mean? Her and the community over there on TikTok. So for them to come together that quickly and be able to accumulate whatever they accumulated and were able to actually be proactive and put something out there for um, Sebastian, or in regards to help finding Sebastian in a positive light versus all this drama and all these shenanigans that were transpiring right afterwards because everybody, wanted to push each other this way and push each other that way. It's crazy because I have so many archives and it's just I never go live, so I never really present it. So I usually just pass on my stuff to, if somebody wants it, I just pass it on to them. No big deal, I don't sweat it. But I have so many archives. I have one of Betty talking about Chris Proudfoot, and she was saying that he was a great dad and he was this and that. And before she just flipped her switch, I have one where she's talking about Nick and his fraudulent things that he was convicted of, and that he's not good people. And then all of a sudden, she flipped there. You know what I mean? I have all the prior twos, and yeah, I have a plethora. I have a treasure trove of stuff. Um, you'd be amazed of what I got. I've shared so much of it. Wispy has a lot of the stuff, and she probably doesn't even know what to do with half the stuff that I send her because I send her so much stuff. But I just want to make sure that she's got stuff if she doesn't know what to do or whatever. Just trying to help her. She's like my sister. My sister from another mister from way over there. But I'm just me. I'm just laid back. I'm goofy. I just kind of chill. I'm a little, like I said, with the ADHD, so people might think that I'm interrupting you. So if you ever hear me talking and it sounds like I'm interrupting, just say, "Hey, slow your roll," and I don't take offense to it at all. Because sometimes I need to curb my enthusiasm. Sometimes I need that cue. So, so we'll go back to that video, and then hopefully everything's turning out halfway decent. I'm gonna have to check the replay after I'm done. So I'll get that video for you.
Then and then it turned out she needed a lawyer. Then you find out she already had a fundraiser, got over 1,000. So I don't know. What I do know is things are going to get ugly either way, right? So I think it's as simple as just abide into the cease and desist, which isn't hard to do. Is basically stop your crazy accusations towards, Nick and them. So I don't know. Hey, Pam. Well, Lilith, I think, I think a lot of these people that are cheering this on are going to be surprised if it turns around and the same thing happens to them, right? Because the Proudfoots have every legal stand-in to do exactly the same thing. And I wonder then how many of them are going to be celebrating and cheering that on. Because right now it's all fun and games because it's people they don't like. Hell, I don't care if you like somebody or not. Trying to silence somebody and trying to silence like uh their channels and stuff, it's not okay, but I'm not surprised. It's gonna happen. um the thing is more personal connection over there, right? And everything that lawyer did state, I mean, we can go over that really quick, but everything he did state, I'm not guilty of. I'll tell you that. I stood up.
So this says this. So I have a delay in my phone. It's like it's a couple seconds behind, so I feel like I'm. This is This is all true, and and in Granny's past streams, Granny has had some of those things done to her in the past, and she doesn't agree with it. Is it playing?
Up against calling Nick's parole officer. I stood up against the racism. I stood up against the rumors that the pants were Sebastian's. I've told people we need to start demanding receipts for things. So I don't know. I do know that it seems to be like this sort of payoff, if you will. Like, if you're on their quote unquote team, they're sending you super chats and you get to feel part of, and they're giving you exclusive interviews. And that is funny because you hear other people saying the Proudfoots are paying people off, but to me, that's paying people off. You see how dog said people in the beginning came after stuff? No, dog, that's not how it went. Right, that's what I mean. They don't know what's going on. They're getting all their information from one biased side, and it's very unprofessional. But hey, what are you going to do? Is Barbecue Lady trying to con people? I don't know. I don't know. I don't. I nothing to do with barbecue, to be honest. One-side information, nothing from the Proudfoots or Ellie or TBI. I'm like, is TBI going to come out and speak about this? Is anybody going to come out and speak about this? This has gotten so disgusting. It's unbelievable. There shouldn't even be a quote unquote side, and that's the biggest problem. Like when it comes to Mr. E, I was actually very respectful with Mr. E. They used to come in here. I never treated them differently. I never called out their content. I never called them liars. I was always very respectful. I wrote respectful questions and I was immediately deleted based on a quote unquote team. How is that right? I went into Justin's the other night, another person I've always been respectful to. We always say hi to each other in different chats and all those things. And right away, his mods are calling me a troll and telling me to get out. I'm like, oh, am I not welcomed here? Like, so why is that? Because I disagree? Because we are all fighting over people we don't know? Do you think either set of parents are going to be honest with any of us and tell us if they've done something? And yet they have all of us fighting their battles and doing their dirty work for what? For what? It's gone too far, and a lot of people are being used as pawns. And where are people at to step up about it? I don't like it. I don't like it. And you,
Like it's like he said, it's really not even a big deal. It's bad when the person that sends or the person that's responsible for sending the cease and desist out have to come on and actually downplay it for everybody, right? Like, hey, it's not this big bad scary piece of paper. As long as you stop, the lies and the incitement, you're good. It's over. Like,
Okay, so this says now we see that behind the scenes, BJ was now talking to Tony, and apparently she said something disparaging about Granny to him because she is saying Nick won't be going to Granny's chat anymore because BJ doesn't want Granny to be viewed positively ever. So I know they got a lot of history, and but I to me personally, my intuition tells me, and I mean I see the receipts and everything too, but Granny is very passionate when she speaks. Like she I mean there's conviction in when she speaks. And when she speaks you can tell when it's she has very short fuse with BJ, so she doesn't even really like talking about her because she knows how short fused it makes her because she's been dealing with her for so long. And I just think that it shows a lot that she just like because she gets all hyped up like sometimes when there's somebody else on there and she knows that it needs to be talked about, but I know there's people in my life that they can trigger me. My tolerance level is like 0 to 100 in like less than a half a second. But I choose not to surround myself around negative people. But I know certain individuals, if they do that, I know to pull back because it's going to bring something out of me that I don't want to, I don't want to conduct myself in that manner, if that makes sense. But Keith, I made you moderator, it's not a big deal. I just to have some eyes in the chat because, yeah, just trying to figure this out. If that's okay with you. If you don't want it, I'll take it back.
I have received threats multiple times since I've been on YouTube. Some I have reported, some I haven't. Um, the ones that I have, I certainly never share publicly. I've never made it public. I just
I've never made any threats public.
no.
I mean,
Okay.
I think if you're a creator, you always get threats at
Yeah.
some point.
So I think the only way for us to really know if they were reported would be to how would you know? I guess what FOIA?
I have no idea.
Well, now dog put it out there that you should report it.
This case is about Sebastian Rogers, not about all the sideshows. And as I learn about these little YouTube features,
So that's funny. She always says that. And see, when you look back and like you even just see little clips of some of these creators, like it's just a broken record. It's the same cycle, different day. You know what I mean? Same routine, and it doesn't it isn't really getting too like, more extravagant. They might put a couple extra filler words in there, to make it a couple little radical words to make it seem like it's different, but it's really not different. It's really the same. It's really the same stuff over and over and over. And who triggers you like me? I'm just to the point that because I recorded so much. I have so many archives of her. It's not even. It's absolutely my storage gets full. It's constantly, and I have to push it over to my SD card because that's so much of her. But yeah, she because the way she squeals, like oh, I can't stand it. It's the way she like. Oh my god! And so I can only watch it for so long, and then I have to. I can't. I don't have my tolerance has grown fairly short. But like I said, if I ever saw her in person, I'm not gonna say it out loud, but yeah, hand meet face. That's why I said I'm glad I live way the hell over here because I don't ever want to come in contact with anybody because for some of I probably wouldn't do it. There's no way I would do it. I'm not wired that way. But man, that's what I feel like. Like if I ever were to see her, I'd be like, you know what, just real quick, just pop her right in the nose real quick. I'm not saying I'm ever gonna do it. It's just a figure of speech, but that's how I feel inside when I see her do all this ridiculous, taking advantage of. It, it's sad to see because there's so many, and you know what I trip out on is because I sit back and I watch, and I said I love to watch other people's BS because it's not mine, you know, and to watch these grown adults act like complete and utter fools, like to say it nicely, you know, and they're all grown, and half of them are older than me, like they're my elders. They should be teaching me a lesson, right? Like they should be teaching us a lesson. We shouldn't be trying to curb them, you know, or to call them out. And it's crazy because I think it just has to do with the internet too, you know, when you're behind something and you don't have to look at them face to face. But I've just noticed there's a lot of people that are not mindful of the person next to them, the person that's coming behind them to hold the door open for them, you know, and it's just a basic. I don't know what happened. It's just a lot of people are just like, hey, let me put blinders on, and act like I don't see what's going on, you know. But we're quick to point out everybody else's flaws, and we'll be quick to point out everything else. Like even if it's not necessary, you know, if it's necessary, it's necessary to be proactive about it. But it's just I don't know. It's crazy, and I'm a people watcher, so I kind of just observe. I don't, you know, I don't go back and go gossip, and I don't engage in all that, you know, stuff. Every once in a while, it's fun to, you know, just kind of shoot the shit. But you know, I don't get like engrossed in it because it's toxic, and I've been there before. So I'm like, yeah, I'm good. So I've already cycled through all those cycles. So I'm just like, I'll just sit back here and watch. But I won't, you know, I'm not gonna encourage or anything like that. But you know, I'm not going to try to mediate either because that's not my job either. You know, maybe to a certain degree, but I know when to step back because sometimes you just can't reason with people. You know, they're fixed in whatever they think, and they're going to see it when they want to see it. You know, you don't know what you don't know unless you see different or somebody shows you different. That's my theory.
Like the thumbs down thing apparently helps with the analytics in a way that gets those videos off. I think I have what 20,000 of you guys on YouTube, so let's get together and thumbs down the bullies, all right? Instead of giving them a platform and calling them out and trying to work with them. At the end of the day, they're going to phase themselves out. That's the best I can say right now. We are very quickly litigating with a few of these individuals, and the rest are going to phase themselves out, right, guys? I mean, you have one guy saying he calls my parole. It's very strange behavior. Do you really think they don't know I'm on it? Like, literally, guys, you're not giving any new information. Hey, do you guys know Nick the Hat is on parole? Well, yes, we do. You're calling the Pennsylvania Board of Parole. So obviously we know who he is. You guys that are watching this, try to find some of those videos and give them a thumbs down. Start giving them thumbs downs. I guess if we can unite 18, 20,000 of us, however many there are on my YouTube, go and give them a thumbs down. I don't care if they give me a thumbs down. I'm not on YouTube for the numbers. It's just not. And continuing with these wild panels, I mean, go ahead. But once you cross that line, we will be there waiting for you, just like we were with the others. And again, don't be the one to take the baton from the other creators who might be able to correct their wrongs legally and avoid the mountain of litigation, right? So if you rely on YouTube, I would tread carefully. If you're going to be making these baseless allegations, at least have some kind of evidence to back it or use, in my opinion. It's not that hard, guys. Again, drama, go to it, give it a thumbs down, share the video and tell people to go and give it a thumbs down. Let's get rid of the hate. And the thumbs downs are just like I guess, I don't know what they do, but if they do something, let's just do it. Nevertheless, if they cross the line, we'll be waiting there at the finish line for
This guy. This guy was such an instigator. He was the antagonist. He was the catalyst. He was all of it. Him and Hung were yeah. And Mr. Massett. I have a video on him too with when he was in what was that the young man's name that he initially was doing that. He had a GoFundMe. Yeah, but this guy right here, this guy. Yeah, he was such an antagonist, and like I said, I have so much, uh, archives of stuff that people didn't even want to touch with a 10-foot pole because think they felt that because when stuff goes down in this community, it goes down fast and hard. So like, so I just kind of try to, I was trying to share it with people and they're like, they didn't really say anything, but I mean, I'm good at feeling the vibes, and it's not that they're telling me anything. It just seems like it was a little much because there's so much that you have to focus on just like one thing here. And I get it. Sometimes I overwhelm myself because I want to help so much. So I've had to learn how to humble myself and not stretch myself out there and expect and be too pushy, because when you're too pushy, you're more repelled than you are received. So I've learned how to kind of just try to give it in a little bit of doses instead of, because I feel like maybe I was like a hippie back in the day, like a reincarnated, as me, but I would used to be a hippie or something because my heart wants to give and wants to do all this and that, but I know better. I've seen a lot, been through a lot, whatever, but I had to learn how to. My friend told me from elementary school. She told me, she's like, "Girl," she goes, "You could be a little overwhelming for people sometimes." And I'm like, "What?" But I could take her. She's known me since I was young, and it's very few people that have known me. And she goes, "Yeah, you could be a little overwhelming. You got to remember that you don't know how fragile the next person could be. You don't know where their breaking point could be. You have no clue. So like." If you overwhelm somebody, like say if they're struck this, I would like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff I would help with. I can tell you guys that like over time or whatever. But I just try to be helpful because I know what it is to struggle. I know what it's like to be homeless. I know what it's like to, go through all that and not have that hand up, not a hand out, like a hand up. And so, but I would overwhelm them with the information because I'm like, hey, look, 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 because I was so proud of myself that I had all this information for them. But my friend's like, you have to remember, you don't know what they're going through and you don't know what their breaking point. You don't know if they're as resilient as you. You don't know if they're a little more fragile than you. So you can't bombard somebody with all the information all at once because if you think about it, it's true because they'll if they're stressed out or if they got a lot on their mind or a lot on their plate or trying to figure out what they're going to do if they're struggling or whatever and just trying to survive, and I'm over here trying to dump all this resource information on them, they're like they're gonna and the first instinct is to just be like, dude, get this chick away from me. She's like too much. And so like when she said that, I was like, I never thought about it like that. And so since she said that, I've just tried to be more mindful of how I try to give the information that I know. It's not always, you don't have to give it all to everybody all at once. I had to learn how to humble myself, and it was some work, and I'm still working on it. But I mean, but this guy was such an antagonist. It was not even funny. It is not even funny. I have so much, like I said, the transcripts and stuff, and to actually read the word for word what happened in his trial before he got for the one he got convicted. It's crazy. The judge told him, he's all, "You are not a detective. You are not a police officer. So stop." I mean, he did some wild, when you actually read the transcripts. Like you can see the articles and stuff, but when you read those transcripts, it's a whole different ballgame.
For them, and they know who they are. A lot of them know who they are, and the list did grow, but it did shrink as well. It's fluctuating right now.
Why couldn't you take him? Why couldn't you take him?
Good question. If you know that they allowed, do you think I'm threatened by you, Nick? I'll see you soon too. You can more than welcome, Nick. Do what you gotta do. You're gonna silence me from playing your own buddy's word.
I think that's funny how he's I don't know what they do, but but he knows everything else about everything else, right? He trips me out. So if you just listen to people and the words that they say, it's crazy. Like he's like, I don't just hit the thumbs down, everybody hit the thumbs down. He just talks just to talk. Like he just just so he could hear himself, like so he might make sure that he's not mute. I guess I don't know. That's what I feel like because he's like, yeah, but he knows all this detail about all these lawsuits and all these creators, and he's all intricate with all the information. But then yet he's like, everybody just hit those thumbs down because you know what they do. Oh well, I don't know what they do. Just let's just hit the thumbs down. Like what the I think that's hilarious. I laugh at people. I play little comedy skits in my head too. Like it's hilarious.
So what's the punching bag mean? Did you just threaten me? Just threaten me, Nick? Do it again. What does that mean, Nick? Elaborate.
What to say? And apparently he sent a pic of the docs he posted on X to BJ. Wonder why? He
It's not like there's no threats and there's no such thing as a threat with a lawsuit. It's not a threat. You're going to get sued. If it's a bogus lawsuit, you sue them back. Welcome to the legal system. That's how it works, right, guys? You get sued, you have to answer to it. You don't, it's on them. They'll answer to it because their channels will be suspended. That's why they're definitely going to answer. They're not going to just ignore it, especially when YouTube beep, closes their account because they're waiting for an answer. The easy way out would be they don't answer. That would be amazing if they just say, we never got this, and then their account is frozen and they gotta respond to get back in. Then we know they got served, right, guys? So again, don't follow the lead set by the people that are currently being barbecued in front of you. Literally, the trolls that are being cooked for the crimes that we allege that they have committed.
The only reason that you are on the list of the of problematic people is because you're one of the worst ones. Not because I say you are, but because you are. That's your own actions. That's your own doing, Granny. It just so happens to be that you and I have personal issues, but that's where it starts and that's where it stops. Tony and Seth don't have time to be involved in my personal vendetta, nor would I ever bring them into it. I'm sorry that you think you're that important, but I got news for you. You're not. I don't think about you like that. I do want to say this though, like it's absolutely amazing that she thinks, Granny, you think that because I talked to Tony that and I have talked to Seth that that's why Nick came into your chat. Do you not take accountability for anything that you do? Have you not, like, does she really believe that she has been fair and she hasn't been a part of the problem? Like the shit she has said about Seth, like she shouldn't be surprised. She should have known that she was going to be one of them. That doesn't have anything to do with me. We have been harassed.
Yeah.
Our channels have been harassed. How many nights have we been live and we've been bombarded by people from over there on them channels coming after us and just lashing out?
We're not doing anything wrong.
No, because they don't like what we're talking about.
That's right. Because they don't like what we're talking about. And we're not attacking them either. Don't understand where they're getting that from.
Thank you, Black. Thank you, sweetheart. Lolly said Katie was in charge of Sebastian
when he was taken advantage of, and when he went missing. Makes you wonder who's guilty. Not. It's okay.
So this says like this, literally 5 seconds later, you are pinning a comment from another creator blaming Katie, but nobody can say Seth's name. And she's adamant. She's so adamant about how she, I never said that, I never said those things. I've never done nothing to nobody, yeah, okay, whatever you say. Just because you delete your videos don't mean that people forget, we remember, and I don't know. That's just strange to me too. I just the human behavior is so weird to me. I know I'm a weird one too, but I just when I see it and when I observe, I just the way people move, and it's like, I don't know, does people ever like self reflect or maybe go look in the mirror? Somebody told me one time a long time ago, like, and this was like, when I was going through my growth and my self reflection and whatever, and they had said something. They said it to me, and I was like, I kind of blew it off for like I blew it off for probably about 6 months, and just kind of in one ear and out the other. But I always remember certain phrases that people have told me throughout my life that have some type of meaning or substance to my life that I've applied it to. And I remember they were telling me, "Have you ever tried to look at yourself in the mirror?" And I was like, yeah, I always do it. They said, no, really look at yourself in the mirror. Like, really look at yourself in the mirror. And I was like, and I blew it off. And then one day I was just like, I went to go take a shower, and you put your towel on your head and you go walk out of the bathroom. And I don't know, it just hit me that day. I was just like, so I backed up and I looked. I couldn't look at myself longer than, psh, no bullshit. I couldn't look at myself longer than maybe 3 seconds at the most. And I was like, oh, it was a man, that was an epiphany. Let me tell you, that made me stop and like, wow, like what is going on with me that I can't even like really look at yourself, not just put your makeup on, like actually just stop and look at you. It's a life changing experience. Let me tell you, because it makes you want to sit back and think, why, like, you can't even look at yourself. How you feel embarrassed in front of people or whatever, but to be able to see your own reflection, and I never realized it because I just blew it off, but I did that day, and then I was like, oh, I understand what they were talking about. It is it's something to think about, you know. I'm sure people will blow it off, but one day you'll do it and it's just like, oh, I get it, because I never got it until you actually apply it. But yeah. So it says Katie was in charge of Sebastian when he was taken advantage of and when he went missing. Hmm. Makes you wonder who is guilty. That's so I don't know. People are so quick to judge, like, and point fingers, and I don't know. We're all flawed. We're all human beings. We're all flawed in our own ways. And I'm not saying that it's an excuse either. It's not an excuse to conduct yourself in a weird ass way, like some of these individuals in this world. But it's not my place to say what they should and should not do. I just know that when it comes to children and in things like that, and like tragedies, and when you're exploiting it for your own selfish reasons and selfish intentions, that's where it hits. That's where it hits me, because I'm just like, it's just ugly. It just makes you look ugly inside. And it just, why would you want to do that? Because like everybody's been in that vulnerable moment, and some people and their moments are way more uh critical and fragile than probably our everyday moments. But everybody has gone through something, and who are we to judge and put them on a level? Okay, well, they're up here, they're down there, this one's lower than that one. That's just crazy to me.
Tony. I'm glad that you're hearing this because I think this is ridiculous. All right, here we go.
pissed when he started doxing your family, your dad, bringing people into it that have nothing to do with nothing. Like that shit crossed the line, man. Like that didn't have nothing to do with nothing. And like I said, nobody spoke about his parents. Nobody has gotten like that. You know what I mean? Nobody's been nasty like that. Nobody's even spoke on Seth's parents at all, even though they've trashed the fuck out of Chris's parents.
Really, really, Queen? Really? So you cool with Granny? Bold-faced lies about my children. My kid's school was called. I still don't know who did that, but I do question if you had something to do with it. Sure do.
That's
I
low.
think you did.
Low.
That's my opinion. I can't prove it, but I do think you had something to do with it. Sure do. About how far? Okay, let me see.
With what you're saying. Now, those people that are doing shows.
See that right there. See? Oh, man. And that's why I said she's lost in the sauce. This girl is so lost in the sauce, it's not even funny. Because you see that right there, like at least she would admit and say, "Yep, I sure do. I don't know if you did anything, if you had anything to do with it." But look at how quickly it turned into like that monster, whatever you want to call it. Like they say, like envy is like a big green monster, or whatever. Like people say, like visually, that's what it would probably look like. You know, don't get taken over by the green monsters. It's like if you envy somebody or something like that. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that saying before, but this chick, at least she said it. She don't say that no more. Now she's like, I don't know what you talking about. Like that's crazy. Who are you? We don't know. Who are you? We're trying to figure that out. We're all trying to figure that the same puzzle. You just got the wrong pieces, chickie.
Over there. Are they being cautious with what they're saying?
Hell
No,
no.
it's a lot of negative things being said with no basis or information or
They're
factual
speaking it as if it's fact.
information to even speak on anything that's anything remotely close to what they are talking about.
Nick the Hat and Dog, as you guys know, Tony Mathis and Seth Rogers are now a part of Nick and Dog the Bounty Hunter's legal team. The legal reps are not just over Dog and they're not just over Dog and Nick anymore. They cover for Seth and Tony as well. Well, with that being said, Nick has made it clear that they are watching all of these what we call quote unquote hate channels, namely, and it's not the people that are speaking out against Seth because they dislike him. It's when you outright slander and defame his name. You guys, why I'm talking about Granny tonight, okay? I'm not just bringing her up on a whim. I have some things to say because for the past 2 days, she has accused me of being the reason that Nick the Hat went after her the other day. It's all my fault. I'm the reason that all things are, I'm the reason that she's got Nick and the others' attention. I'm not the reason that Nick is looking at you, Granny. It has nothing to do with me. It's unfortunate. I'm sorry, y'all. It just so happens to be that one of the people that has, been my worst enemy through all of this, one person who has attacked me the most, ironically, just so happens to be one of the worst attackers of Seth Rogers. What do you want me to say? I mean, if you had to ask me from the things I saw, she's easily top 2 in the worst, like, as far as like, making fun of him, calling him fat, accusing him of being an absentee father, accusing him of, trying to get back at Katie because he wants to be with her versus, find his son, taking her own personal feelings from her own past relationships and, trying to put that on Seth, like claiming that he reminds her of his ex. That has nothing to do with Seth. Your ex and Seth, I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy. Then don't listen to her, Boston. I don't. As a matter of fact, guess how I found out about her saying all the crap she said yesterday? I got messages from my subscribers. People started emailing me like crazy midday yesterday. Brittany, you need to let Dog and Nick the lawyers bust this little drama. You know what? Like, I'm seriously gonna.
I guess I have a delay on mine, so I'm like listening to my replay like a couple seconds before. But anyway, I mean, I kind of we all know, we all walk through this. A lot of us all walk through this in the same, the same time. Um, what does it say? Allegedly, he said he is going after her. He's hitting her first. What first? Because she's what Logan local. It says, this says 925, and sure sounds like you're talking about Nick telling you something private. I mean, he is a local to Granny. Yeah, he sure is, because he stays in Pennsylvania too. Sure does. hmm I haven't figured out how to press play from the restream.
Gonna talk to Nick. Like, I haven't. I have nothing to do with what's going on, but maybe I will talk to Nick. Like, honestly, because this is my personal life. This made this post. Okay, let me read this to you all. Okay, she says, "Imagine this: your loved one's life is tragically ended. You set up a memorial spot to honor their short-lived life. An angry man comes out with a weapon in his hand, demanding that you leave the memorial and take it all with you, destroying the place that you built to honor, remember, and feel close to where your loved one's last breath was taken. Does this sound like someone who cares about victims or has human decency at all? Tons to discuss tomorrow morning. I hope to see you all there." All right, you're a psycho. You're not going to do this. I'm not going to allow you to take a situation that you are so wrong about. It's laughable how wrong you are. You're so wrong about it, and you're going to sit there and twist it and try to make like this right here. This right here proves many things. Tell y'all the story of what happened, because I refuse to allow this girl to do this to me anymore. But and to any mod that I can find it in that went over here and told her a screwed up story, you need Jesus too. I was on YouTube. I was actually live when it happened. For anybody that may not know, there was a 20-year-old boy who you're a psycho. You're not going to do this. I'm not going to allow you to take a situation that you are so wrong about. It's laughable how wrong you are. You're so wrong about it. And
So just because it's for my own thoughts too, because it goes by so fast, and she like you hear her talking in the background, and then you see all these things on the screen. So I just rewound it just to kind of look at what it said again. Let's see. I'll master this one day. Let's see. It says, okay, because I had slowed it down. I slowed this down because it goes at a good speed, a good pace. So I actually slowed it down, so it wouldn't go by so fast. Let's see. So we got, okay. So this says, except BJ and a lot of her panel guests take things personally because they have children with autism. Also, they judge parenting based on, let's see, on that. Let's see. Except BJ and a lot of her panel guests take things personally because they have children with autism. Also, they judge parenting based on that. 92624. Okay. So let's see.
and say, I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy.
Then this
Don't
is,
listen to her, Boston. I don't. As a matter of
so
fact,
this
guess
is
how I found out
Boston
about
supports
her saying
Lana.
all the crap she said yesterday.
BJ subscribed to Granny's. She
I
showed
got
this
messages
accidentally.
from
She
my
lies so much.
subscribers.
So it shows right here. She subscribed to her. Huh.
People started emailing me like crazy midday yesterday. Brittany, you need to
So September 26th, second stream of the day.
let Dog and Nick the lawyers bust this little drama. You know what? Like,
You saw that? I read
I'm
that.
seriously gonna talk to Nick. Like, I haven't. I have nothing to do with what's going on, but maybe I will talk to Nick. Like, honestly, because this is my personal life. This made this post. Okay. Let me read this to you all, okay? She says, imagine this.
What's
Your
up,
loved
Lane
one's life
Screen?
is tragically ended.
I just
You
I
set up
just
a
modded you
memorial
up
spot to
because
honor
I
their
needed
short
you to
but
come in
lived
here.
lives.
I never go
An
live,
angry man comes out with a whip in his hand,
So
demanding that you
forgive
leave the
me and just
memorial
show
and
me a
take it
little
all with
grace
you,
today because
destroying the place that you built
I had
to
to go to restream and I never go live hardly at all. So I'm learning the restream. I had to do a crash course, and with ADHD, I was like, oh, I'm so flustered. So um, I'm just kind of it's like my little trial and error right now. So just bear with me. Let's see. So this says, what does it say? Granny's watching 1 hour ago. Imagine this. Your loved one's life is tragically ended. You set up a memorial spot to honor their lived life. An angry man comes out with what is it, a water gun in his hand, demanding, is it a water gun or a real gun? I wonder if it's a real gun. I don't remember. Uh, I don't know. Who knows? Hand demanding you leave the memorial and take it all with you, destroying the place you built to honor and remember and feel close to where your loved one's last breath was taken. Does this sound like somebody who cares about victims or has anyone any human decency at all? Tons to discuss tomorrow morning. I hope to see you there.
honor. Remember and remember and feel close to where your loved one's last breath was taken. Does this sound like someone who cares
And
about
it
victims?
says, remember that BJ reviewed a stream containing Granny's docs and her father's docs earlier that day. BJ says that since Natasha put her and her father's docs out years ago, that it's not a docs, even though a whole new audience, now, a whole new audience now that didn't know. Oh, it should probably say there's a whole. Oh, there, yeah, there's a whole new audience now that didn't know. So she just, yeah. Mhm. This didn't age well for you there, Miss BJ.
Or has human decency at all? Tons to discuss tomorrow morning. I hope to see you all there. All right, you're a psycho. You're not going to do this. I'm not going to allow you to take a situation that you are so wrong about. It's laughable how wrong you are. You're so wrong about it, and you're going to sit there and twist it and try to make it like this right here. This this right here proves.
This one says, BJ does this a lot. People post something vague with no name or identifying information, and BJ jumps on a stream to claim her victimhood and announces her connection to whatever personal that was posted. Granny didn't post a name, address, or anything identifying.
Many things. Tell y'all the story of what happened because I refuse to allow this girl to do this to me anymore. But and to any mod that I can fight it in that went over here and told her a screwed up story, you need Jesus too. I was on YouTube. I was actually live when it happened. For anybody that
So this is now BJ was on a live stream when this wreck happened and stayed live. She has spoken about it previously. So BJ's rules, this should be okay.
may not know, there was a 20-year-old boy who he unfortunately was driving and drinking. He was coming back from a Halloween party. He was drinking and driving, and he was going like maximum speed, and he basically went off the road into my ditch, and the impact was so hard that it felt like a bomb. It went off at my house. Okay, it woke my father-in-law up out of his sleep. It was absolutely devastating.
She thrives off of chaos. In my opinion, this is what fuels her giddy up, whatever you want to call it. It just, gives her pep in her no steps. But yeah, it's crazy. There's people that are like that. I've met some people like that in my life. That's no excuse. Absolutely no excuse because it's disgusting. And I have a saying that says you need to eat a lot of makeup because you're ugly inside. And some people just it's crazy because like before you know it, your life has already passed you by and all the ugliness you've done to other people. Yeah. You got to sit with that when you get old and older and you get slower and you know what I mean? There's not too many people around. You got to sit with that. So I don't know. People try to act like they're disconnected, but we're all human. And at the end of the day, we all think about these things. We might not say it or not, but come on now. She's a trip. It's crazy to see people like this because I don't understand it. I don't get it. I could never be like sometimes I've gotten angry and stuff, but I could never actually do what half of these people that do all this craziness to people. There's no way I couldn't do it because I would feel bad because I think about what if somebody did that to somebody who I loved or my kids or man. Let me tell you, you mess with my kids, you're gonna get a yeah. You don't only have three things that bother me is my kids, my money, and the stuff I work hard for. Everything else, it just rolls. What do they say? It rolls off your back like water off a duck's back or whatever it's called. It's pretty much just the three things that you're gonna get a fight from me for.
Devastating. And he passed away on impact. You ask me, why is Granny all in my business? Ask yourself, why does she have her nose in my personal life? I want y'all to think about this. This is my personal life. This isn't YouTube. So they set up a memorial in my yard. It's in my yard. The memorial stays up for about a year. Now, the entire time, nobody said anything. Everybody was fine. Nobody had problems with the memorial being up. Okay, in my yard, it was up for about a year, and we started getting woken up. Like there would be lights shining in my kids' windows, loud music, people outside talking. They were going out there in my yard in the middle of the night, getting drunk. At this time, I had to reach out and call law enforcement because I was being threatened online too. So not only did we have people coming up drinking in my yard, we're finding alcohol outside of our house constantly, loud music at 12 o'clock at night. Fuck you, Granny. Fuck you for coming at me and making this story something that it's not. So we asked them to move it. And if that makes me evil, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I talked to Nick, okay? I talked to Nick today. I talked to Tony today. And I'm seriously gonna talk to Nick. Like I haven't. All they want to do is make these people stop dragging Seth and putting all these allegations out here that's inciting a mob. It's not just the fact that these people are saying the things they're saying, but they're putting these false accusations out into the drama sphere, and then you have all these people that watch them, the 1,200 in chat at a time, taking these allegations and running chat to chat. And I mean, look at the mess it's created. But I cannot preface this any more than I have already. Y'all, I can't stress it enough. They are not trying to take anybody down. That's not what they want to do. And I can't understand why people are making such a big fuss about this either.
It's good to see all of you in here. Sorry, I was looking at messages. It's so funny because, well, we'll get into a few things, but ironically, my dang old post didn't say anybody's name, but somebody sure as hell took that very personally. And then I saw people calling that a dox, and I'm like, what? How would you feel post with no names as a dox? Wow, that's news to me. So kind of at the point where if like you support doxing, if you cheer it on, if you excuse it, well then surely you're okay when it comes to you. Well, rest assured, I'm not a doxer. Despite what these people cry and complain.
Okay, so this girl's sense of entitlement, like, because I have ADHD, so I'll get these. I have these thoughts already, but they kind of get loose sometimes, and they kind of they wander off every once in a while. But like I've always had certain ways that I feel about this chick, and this chick, her sense of entitlement and her sense of acting like she's the only one. When your parents, I don't know if you had, like, I'm sure you've had a parent tell you or an aunt or somebody tell you, you're not the only one living here on this earth. You're not the only one here. There's everybody else in this world that's around you. Like, it's not all about you. And that's the way she speaks. Like, I don't know. I don't know if she's like this. It's like BHB too. I'm like, man, they did a disservice. They should have. Man, I think BHB was the. Sorry. She was one of those kids that, like she was like a bugaboo. And like just bugging and annoying. And so they're like, just give her what she wants. So she'll go. And just kind of just brush her off. And then this is what we have to deal with because they never, you know, whooped her butt or disciplined her, like really sat down. And like I said, we all have our own life experiences. I'm not saying that anybody's easier than the other, but she's a pain in the, you know what? At 44 years old, that's crazy how some people, it's just crazy to me because I couldn't conduct myself that way. Because like that's the way we used to act like we were like junior high, not even junior high, like fifth grade. I don't get it.
Say and do. I'm not a doxer. I don't have to dox. We're going to show more and more because she's feeling really emboldened. I don't know if anybody else picked up on it because not many people watch, including myself. But she started off at the beginning of the stream saying she's never spoken to Nick, and by the end of this stream, she was saying how she spoke to Nick and Tony that day, just like making that post led to her crying for 30 minutes about being a victim. No, the only victim is the family whose lives, their loved one's life was lost that night. And instead of coming out with some human decency and saying, hey, can you turn down your headlights or, can you refrain from leaving a mess behind when you leave here, which I don't believe happens. Your badass shut-in of a boyfriend goes out because that's the truth of what happens. So I don't know if she forgets, but she told this story about a year ago and it was a stark difference. So yeah, I have no problem with my record being out there again. I've never hidden it. I am in recovery. I did some shitty shit and
So I don't know, like if you guys can put like, just let me know what your thoughts are in the chat. Like, what do you think? Like, you think there were people just hanging around, like around that mailbox or wherever that memorial was, and like just like bumping their music and just like, yeah, this is the spot, like it's the spot, the sweet spot, like where to go chill, that kick it spot, and just hey, let's just go in their yard, like that's crazy. Loud music, waking up at night. No, I don't think so. Your kids are already awake at night. What are you talking about? I don't know. It just don't make no dang sense. None of it makes no sense. And I'm just calling out the funny stuff that. The way my mind works is I play like little Saturday live, not live skits in my head. So like when I hear these stories, like I'm visually playing out like a Saturday Night Live skit or a Mad TV skit in my head, and to me it's hilarious because it cracks me up because I could see this in one of those skits, but this is like real life, and that's what makes it even more more crazy. But I'm trying to commentate because I'm getting a little used to the restream, but I'll get better. I'll master it like a professional, like I do everything else. It's just gonna take a little extra time.
I pay for it every day. I also make up for it every day. What I have a problem with is bringing my family in it who's not on YouTube. That's what I have a problem with. But since all of you that support it don't have a problem with that, you surely won't have a problem with what I show today. Okay? And again, it won't be doxing, but it will be showing you all some inside information to who these people are. That's all. So Brittany, for whatever reason, took my community post to be very personal. And I believe it was even stated up here. I think Heather, if I'm correct, you were part of Brittany. I was actually friendly with Brittany at the time that this accident took place because I remember it. So the fact is, I know he was threatening them with a pew and called charges for pulling down the memorial. Now, Brittany claims that it was okay, the memorial, that they were out there drinking and the bright lights were going through the windows and keeping the kids up and all those things and, whatever may be it. You also took down the memorial. You trashed the memorial of a 20-year-old whose life was taken too soon. That's absolutely horrific. So I'm going to show you all this memorial spot. But hold on, because I forgot to exit out the address. So hold on. This is the memorial that was such a burden on this family. This is the memorial. He was 20 years old when on Sunday, October 30th, he tragically lost his life by going off-road into this ditch. Giselle, thank you so much for the memberships. Does this look like it's something that would be such a bother to you on a property?
No. God
And
rest
then
his soul.
you have her saying that the lights were keeping their kids up because the driveway, right? Brittany, you have no problem with doxing. And lucky for you, I'm not going to dox. So there would be a police report about these people drinking and drugging and then getting in their cars driving, right? But she has several different ones, Heather. I will agree with that. So this memorial spot, let me make sure you can't see. Okay. Because unlike you, Brady, I'm not going to dox you, and I would never celebrate somebody doxing your family, but I am going to show what a liar you are. This memorial spot is right there. Look at the distance. This memorial spot, that's the driveway. Memorial spot, driveway.
Oh, wow.
It's not even, like, it's not right here in front of, it's not up here past their fence. It's on the side.
Okay, so hold on. So I just got this random thought in my head. Do you remember when, because Craig's been going live on his little tiki-taki or whatever he's been doing, and I haven't gone to go like watch him, like I get like puppy watch, but I remember. Do you remember the first one he was doing? He was talking about he felt like he was locked up in a cage, and everybody that he knew has passed away since they were, like at the age of 60. Like nobody's lived past a certain age, and so on and so forth. And he just seemed like he was just in a low place at that moment or whatever. Do you remember he was talking about his little brother passed, right? And I'm not, rest in peace, rest easy, I'm not knocking anybody's life that's already gone, or I don't know them from nobody. They're still human, we gotta pay the respects. But do you remember when he said that his neighbor or somebody that lived on his street um, died at 20 years old? I think he said 20 years old. I'm gonna have to look back at it. But he said 20 years old, and he says he flipped his truck and he flipped it into his ditch and he died, he said. Remember? I wonder if it was at his memorial. I wonder. I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm just, like I said, I'm just airing these thoughts out because I was just like, wait a minute. Because he said he flipped his truck in his ditch. And it looks like that memorial is like in a little groove, like a little, like maybe where water would, if the water gets uh, too high or whatever, it has a place to go, like a drainage ditch. So I wonder if that's who that memorial was. Just a thought.
Yep.
And it's far enough away from the driveway, in my opinion. There are many ways, like I said, that could be resolved without literally breaking down a memorial for a 20-year-old that lost their life. There are many ways you can go about respectfully asking for changes to be made that does not inquire disrespect in the deceased.
Yep.
And in my opinion, it was a strong disrespect to the deceased, and I don't think there's any justification for it. And I don't believe and I don't think there's any justification for going out there with, in a a weapon in hand, threatening. Well, what we're supposed to believe now is young adults, right, that are supposedly out there drinking and recklessly leaving behind trash. Well, and I was just wondering, that is that even considered their property at that point? It's hard. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to tell from just a photo. But nonetheless, this is a memorial spot, a tiny little memorial spot for this young adult whose life was tragically taken too soon. He was a junior fireman, so I find it insulting that you're thinking all his friends and family that come by to honor him are alcoholics and drug addicts. Okay.
But why would you
Right
call
there.
the police?
Right. Why wouldn't you call the police? If there's people outside your property that are drinking and drugging, why aren't you calling the police? Right here, he was proud to be a junior fireman, a volunteer fireman. He was affectionately known, enjoyed riding horses, rodeos, four-wheeling, hunting, and fishing. He loved his truck, hanging out with his friends and his family, and his dog, Gage. This is the young man.
That's sickening.
His memorial. Yeah.
Rest
Yeah,
in
after
peace,
she
Coach
heard the
Banks.
bang and somebody was just passed, she still continued her live stream. And again, I'm still not doxing. Let's make that very clear. This isn't doxing. And yeah, he didn't just take it down. He downright trashed it. He trashed it.
Enforcement took him around and talked like he's privy to information that no one else is, right?
Privy or pervy?
Yeah, pervy. And
Did everybody see the brand new little blurb for STD girl?
No.
Well,
Oh.
Say
I'll
that
see.
again. What?
You guys taught me that she's called STD girl.
Yes. Where can I find this at?
Wait a minute. Did I
In
miss
my
something?
Chlamydia.
Oh,
Yeah, STD.
the
yes.
new what? Blurb?
There was a little blurb. She got a CMD and she is pissed.
Where can I is she live about it? Did she not know that? Come on, she had to know it was coming.
I've
She
been
got
like,
what?
Ward
I
Eagle
fell.
said it.
I've been going to sleep early, so I feel like I missed out on a lot. Mm.
I didn't know that. I thought she already got it.
Look on Ward Eagle.
Tony Mathis, thank you. He said, "Stop." Right? Go ahead and screenshot it. What is it? I was gonna say troll huggers. Go ahead and screenshot it. Bridge huggers. Thank you so much, Tony, for the super chat. Yeah, this is for the contractual agreement.
I'm an empath too.
Thank you. Just gonna say this, okay? Because there's some things that I can't say right now, but I can tell you this, okay? There are two different scenarios. The situation with Uncle Taco is different than this post that I'm reading about, okay? The post that I'm reading about is not the same issue that goes with what Uncle Taco is talking about.
I would think that
The
it
post that
was
I'm reading from
more of a
Lesniak
public or a county.
is
I don't know if
relevant
they're
to
in a
another
county
person
or
that's working on the
like
case.
a county property. I
So
would think.
this is why I wanted to read this and talk about it too, because I made a community post asking why the hell is this happening? This is not okay. And people commented on it saying that they can't believe that, I would go with this with having no proof. Okay. Guidance says, no, it's possibly connected. I know who you're talking about. Okay. Well, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, Guidance. I really wouldn't. But what was I saying? People are saying that, they don't believe this. I want to say this. This is Lesniak, Joseph Lesniak. He is the one posting this. If you think for 1 minute that this attorney is going to risk his job, his credentials, his life.
The cat's in the way. Hold on. Let's see. So it says, let's see. And this was likely something the team wasn't aware of. She can't keep secrets because she wants to be a part of something and she wants everyone to know that she's a part, in my opinion. This is from Just Saying's channel. Just FYI, I'm gonna put her link in the chat again. See if I got it on my desktop or my whatever you want to call this computer. It's not necessarily a desktop. But let's see. So that says that, and let's see.
What was I saying? People are saying that, they don't believe this. I want to say this. This is Lesniak,
Trying to
Joseph
get it from the
Lesniak.
cat.
He is the one posting this. If you
Right.
think for 1 minute.
Law offices of Joe Lesniak. What does it say? Updated this morning, our clients encountered additional impediments caused by online trolls who have escalated their interference to the federal level. Our team have some inside info where these disruptions are originating from. And then I don't know if we have received reports that the individuals are now filing false claims with federal officials. This behavior is no longer just civil misconduct. It is what? It is something ethically crossing into criminal territory. Anyone who continues to conduct I don't know what that says. I can't even read that word. Whether local, state, or federal, should be prepared to, oh my goodness, it's all blurred. something claims in court, probably to go to court basically, file claims in court. What? And let's see. In what? It has come to our attention that this individual falsely reported to authorities that several searchers associated with At Night and Dog the Bounty Hunter. I'm sure that's what it says.
In it that this attorney is going to risk his job, his credentials, his livelihood over some kind of internet beef. You got another thing coming. This isn't just a creator posting this. If he posted it, he's vetted the situation. And I don't know how people can say that, you know, this man's lying. It's not, this isn't some creator just trying to one up somebody over internet beef. You know what I mean? What happened is there's somebody that's working on the team, right? They're en route to Tennessee to go help in the search. And someone who Lesniak is referring to as a troll, so a troll, let's just call him that, contacted TBI and alleged that the persons that are on the way to search are posing as TBI
You would
agents,
know a
wearing
liar if it
badges
bit you in the
and going around
backside.
pretending to be some agents.
But they're not there yet. They're on the way.
Right.
How are they? That doesn't make any
Right.
sense.
So luckily, when TBI reached out to the people that are headed to Tennessee, it immediately debunked it because they're on. That's what Lesniak's saying right here. It says, let me see. It has come to our attention that an individual falsely reported to authorities that several searchers associated with That Night and the Dog the Bounty Hunter were brandishing TBI badges and entering homes unlawfully.
Okay, so this is, let's see. Now, dates are very important. Remember how things have played out so far. God, I got such a delay on my phone. Remember how things have played out so far. C&Ds went out to two people. Granny hadn't been mentioned. BJ has a long talk with Tony. Nick shows up in Granny's chat and threatens her, in my opinion. BJ messages that Nick is going for Granny first. This says, notice that BJ includes that she needs clips of Granny trashing her. I need a clip for the next 24 hours. I have to get as many clips as possible of Granny trashing Seth, Tony, and myself. October 2nd, 2024 at 5:46 p.m. He's saying this is 911. And like I said, what they do is the same it's the same broken record that plays over and over and over. And they just use a couple extra radical words, you know what I mean? And they just recycle the same bullshit. Excuse my French, but that's what it is. It's exactly what it is. And isn't she saying that right now? She's all, go ahead, keep it up, keep breaking them terms of service. She keeps saying all that hoopla, shenanigan, whatever gibberish that she's talking. That's crazy. Yes, we have to talk. This has just changed big time. Wonder what changed. So this says, obviously talking to Nick behind the scenes and trying to, wait, hold on, sorry, trying to get him going at QB. See, that's why I was telling Nick last night that Queen Bee is dangerous. Ooh, watch out. October 6th, 2024 at 1:15 p.m. She is one of the major hosts of the Lies and Slander. So this is that what is it, that litigation, what is it? Something litigation, something chat. I think it was on don't quote me. I think it was on a Discord. I'm not sure. So this says, yep, Discord. There it goes. The litigation lounge right here. So there's Brittany. All the people that are in that chat. October 6th at 12 a.m. So that's the Discord link. Join Nick the Hat Mods. Nick the Hat Mods in the Discord server. Nick the Hat Mods. What? That's good. Oh, look at barbecue lady info. Look at all that. They got little rooms and stuff. Manhunt, missing kids, Nick's lives, media, clips of videos, upcoming streams, briefing room. Oh my God, the briefing room. That's probably where all those uh, how they were sending them the itinerary of what they were supposed to talk about. Nobody ever that Crime Ties Buzz chick. I wonder. I don't know. I do some Scooby Doo moments on that one because I mean I'm sure everybody does, but she just I don't know. She's like I don't know. To me, she'd be like somebody like Nick's auntie or something. She's all about the shenanigans because she's just too like when she was all about when the president was going to come and showing those AI SUVs coming through the field like they're coming through Tennessee. The president was coming. It's ridiculous.
Rules for thee and not for me. Just like, people can actually, there's the last couple of days, there have been people talking about, I don't know if you guys saw where Savage like showed, uh, I think Savage showed a picture of a car in a random like driveway. She made sure to block out like there was nothing else. All you could see was the car. And I've heard people say, "Oh, why are we looking up other people's houses on Google?" I thought we don't do that. Who rocks with somebody who's looking up people's houses on Google? My house was just shown. Well, not my house, but my whole yard was just
Right
shown
here,
on
there's that
Google Earth
memory.
on a live
Let's see.
stream
Oh, wait, wait,
like
wait, wait,
5 days ago. My entire yard was shown on Google Earth on a damn live.
So that was the memorial. Like I'm delayed, so I'm sorry. I apologize. No street name, public info, pics of from the live streams are public. That's why I think it's probably like county road. It's county property. It's not even her actual personal property,
And
in
I'm
my
gonna
opinion.
ask this now.
You have to wonder why she
I've
had such a
asked it
sudden emotional breakdown over things
for
that
I want
happened
all the
weeks ago.
pictures.
All these fake tears. Cry me a
I want that. I
river.
want that. I want that. I'm asking you to take all of the images of me, all of the images of my yard. I want all of them off of your channel. And anybody, any of you.
This is cyberbullying.
Yeah, mocking media. I remember that. He was hilarious.
It's one thing to talk shit. If you want to talk shit about me, go ahead. That's life. There's nothing I can do about that. I can handle that. I don't want anybody to think that I forgot about Betty. Betty, I'll just say, I'm aware of everything that happened with Betty, but we've got a plan. And I got the screenshots, but you bet make sure you get those screenshots so we can send that with the rest of the stuff.
That's true. Like, yeah, you could. That's
Tiffany, I
public
don't believe it's.
information to look at
I just got
the
this
property lines for
fucking
like the county
crazy
roads
ass
and stuff.
lawsuit
Yep.
from Seth Rogers.
What?
Uh-huh.
You got a lawsuit?
I don't think I'm named in it, but a woman named Barbecue Lady and Granny's Watching.
Ooh.
Plaintiffs.
I thought Granny was gonna be next. Barbecue Lady's still on that.
Let's see. Brittany Nicole Jackson, Christina O'Donnell, Julia Valenti, Valentini. I don't know how to pronounce that. And you have plaintiff Nicholas. This is a legitimate lawsuit filed towards actual people on this app. So I don't know what you're talking about. So if you want to watch, watch. If you
So
don't,
this is, what did it
leave.
say?
It
Did
doesn't
say it
matter to
already?
me.
I think it
I don't
did.
care.
I have to keep
The
flicking
case
back. I gotta
stems
figure
from a
out
criminal
how to. I'm
enterprise
sure
led by
somebody
defendants,
knows
which
how to do it.
operates
Somebody
through
knows how to do it. I'm
coordinated
being
online
streamed. I don't have to
harassment.
keep clicking back
It
to
is.
the
It's like a
YouTube too.
RICO.
So this
Holy crap.
is.
Make sure you get those screenshots so
So
we
she's
can
crying about.
send out
I can't
the
hear
rest
it on
of
my
this
end.
stuff.
I should plug in my headphones probably.
Tiffany, I can't believe this. I just got this fucking crazy ass lawsuit.
So it says the
from Seth
morning.
Rogers.
It says the morning. Let's see. The morning of 10/18, Granny and Barbecue Lady woke up to multiple creators reading out a legal filing that was against them that they knew nothing about. They were blindsided by a very public accusation of RICO.
What? Uh-huh. You got a lawsuit? I don't think God named in it, but a woman named Barbecue Lady and Granny's watching. Ooh. Plaintiffs. I thought Granny was gonna be next. Barbecue Lady's the one that.
Let's see. Brittany Nicole Jackson, Christina O'Donnell, Julia Valentini. I don't know how to pronounce that.
So I just
And you
put the
have
link to this video,
plaintiff
and it's
Nicholas.
just saying. So if you guys could, if
This
you
is
guys
a
wouldn't mind, if you guys have
legitimate
it already,
lawsuit
like thumbs up
filed
or give her a thumbs
towards
up to this
actual
video
people
because man, this
on
is
this
a
app.
great,
So I don't know what you're talking about.
like a biography of
So
what really transpired and
if
how
you
it
want to
transpired. You know.
watch, watch. If you don't, leave. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. Case stems from a criminal enterprise led by defendants, which operates through coordinated online harassment. It is. It's like a RICO. Holy crap. This case stems from a criminal enterprise led by defendants, which operates through coordinated online harassment, defamation, indictment of threats against plaintiffs. Defendants' actions have severely obstructed the ongoing search for missing teenager Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers and have caused irreparable harm to the plaintiffs and their efforts. This memorandum outlines the pattern of illegal and harmful conduct engaged in by defendants, which not only violates Pennsylvania's Corrupt Organizations Act, but also federal laws governing harassment and criminal intimidations. Like you can't call somebody a pedo that's not a pedo. You can't call somebody, a thief that's not a thief.
You guys want to see it? Let's see.
Let's see it.
Okay. Let me see if I can do it the right way. All right. Oh, these guys right here.
So yes, so that is what we are looking at. This is massive, and I kind of hinted at this a little bit. I've been thinking this for a little while, and I kind of want to just go back to kind of where I first started thinking this way as far as conspiracy. I don't think people realized what they had walked into. So when we first started looking at the case, I think we were all kind of once we started to realize it was a crime and not a runaway situation, then I started to develop the theory that at least 2, 3, and then over time, I came to believe that anywhere from 3 to 5 people probably had direct knowledge of exactly what happened. And privately, I've had the idea that even more than that probably know bits and parts. And once I started thinking that way, I started, we kind of just started discussing the possibility of conspiracy charges, which are always possible in any kind of crime. And
I just wanted to
yes.
address this. B in Florida says, hasn't been served yet because Granny BBQ or Queen Bee saying they have not been served. That we don't know. The documents are up on the website, the court website. So
yeah, I don't know about service yet.
I'm sorry. I had to stop something. Okay, so my question is this gentleman or this older gentleman, like what background does he have? I'm just curious. Does he have any actual legal background? Like the way he has insinuated, like he's so sure of himself. Like it's cool like that. Just because they're elders doesn't mean that they're right, And it seems like they were doing nefarious crap too. Because like I don't even know what his background is. I'm not trying to like dig in all that, but I'm just curious. Does anybody know? Like, does he have like a legal background? Was he a paralegal like BHB at one point, or to where he can make these wild, like extravagant allegations? Like, oh well, we think it's like this and it's like that, and like, wow. He says it so sure of himself. Like if he I don't know, like like people that are professors that have the back. Was he a professor at least? At a legal college or something? I don't know. He doesn't seem like it, so I don't see why. Maybe it feeds his ego a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it pets his ego a little bit. Attaboy. Kind of gave him a little oomph in his step. I don't know. It's just not cool. It's not all right. You can't do that for your own self satisfaction. You can't be dragging these people and these tragedies and these victims and these missing kids for your own personal uh, validation or satisfaction. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but it makes sense in my mind. Sometimes it doesn't come out verbally like it's in my head, but it's I think it's like we all have our own insecurities, we all have our vulnerabilities, we all have we all put on a big front, we've all done it, we all do it at times, because it's a way of us protecting ourselves, and it's just survival mode, kind of thing. But to stroke your own ego like that and to use these stories, like there's so much information out there in the world, there's so much stuff that you could talk about, like just so many other things, like a gazillion other things that you could talk about and stroke your ego about it and not use these specific kind of situations and circumstances to up your self-esteem, in my opinion. I'm not a professional. That's just my observation.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
That'll be up to
If they
them to.
haven't, they will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And Mr. E, did you talk about the percentage success rate of RICO filed cases?
No.
I didn't see percentage. I just saw that it was rare.
I think it's a 98% success rate on the filing of RICO cases and being proven.
Some people have to learn the hard way. But I feel some sympathy for people in a
That's
sense.
our son.
I don't want anyone getting in this kind of trouble. But you can't mess around with this. This is RICO.
But ultimately, don't you think it's because it has impeded with the actual investigation is the whole reason behind these charges, not just to just go after these people, but to go after the enterprise that's causing the hang up in the investigation? That's my interpretation. Is that what you see as the reasons behind it?
Yes.
Hey, Granny, what's up?
Hey,
What's up?
am I here?
Yeah, how are you?
Good. I don't even know how like everybody else had this. I didn't even.
Yes, you're up here.
I had no idea until I tuned into Molly, which got it. She got it from TM, who's directly connected to the. So whatever. But I only saw what I'm getting snippets of. I don't have the papers. I can't even get them to load on my computer, so I don't know how everybody even has them. I don't have them.
Your name, it's your lawsuit, and you can't even get to the papers.
Jesus Christ.
Listen, I'm really sorry this has happened. And again, as I said before, I'm not fighting with you. Whatever I can do to help you, you let me know.
I appreciate that. I think it's because I'm a PA resident. I was an easy target. Again, they mentioned they mentioned the billboard money. I had nothing to do with billboard money. I didn't raise that money.
You have no connections to the raising money for that at all.
Yeah, and there's not a lot. There's not a lot that in here that they can actually get me for. I think it is definitely not that I'm not going to take it serious. I'm taking it very serious, but it's not up. They have the burden of proof, and they're going to have a hard time proving that I've done the things that are being claimed because I'm not. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. The problem is like they're trying to friggin' do this to make you waste money or try to, so I guess the situation is like that. That's what their intent is. Their intent is to try to make you waste money, waste time, to go after you, to intimidate you, and that's what I feel like that's what it is. Because like it doesn't even make sense. Like how are you part of an illegal organization that's trying to make money through RICO? It doesn't even make sense. You're on YouTube. You talk about people. What is the RICO? I must be like ignorant.
Oh, is there claims of RICO in there?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't even know that's what it says in there. Also,
you haven't been served, so
right. I mean, no. The fact that first off, again, trying to be careful what I say. I might have hurt some feelings or said some unfavorable things, but I never made accusations. I never made threats. I never raised money for billboards. Nothing. So I just love to see what they really have.
the problem with that is, Steph, is that you can't. Apparently, you talk about this case, people will come after you, and that's it makes it so like, well, why even talk about it? Why should anyone talk about this case now if they're going to be threatened with federal injunctions and sued and accused of being part of a RICO act?
About these enterprises, and this part's got me interested too, Justin. Like hearing that there's this weird underground behind the scenes thing going on.
Well, I mean, this attorney does. I mean, I just read it. He knows how to get the information
Yeah.
that he needs. RICO law.
Mm-hmm.
RICO law.
I think that this is going to go so much further than we know, you guys. Because, like I said, don't look to me for information or Justin. Like the only thing that I really know is about my filing. You know what I mean? I'm not privy to anything else. So this stuff that we're reading in this filing is news to me too. So when I see them speaking about enterprises and things going on behind the scenes, it really makes me wonder. I'm like, damn, because I'm just an average person that's got a channel that comes on here to hang with y'all at night, talk about true crime. But it really looks like some of this stuff is going to open the doors to a lot of things that none of us knew were going on.
Read Tony's.
What?
Let's see, where are you at, Mr.
Bro, what are you talking about,
Not
man?
to mention, this is the second. Is it the second cease and desist that Seth has put out before?
Yes.
And and this is what happens after a cease and desist, right? cease and desist is saying, okay, tone it down or knock it off, right? And well, here we are.
Yep.
This is why we can't have nice things.
That's so funny, but it's so true though. So yeah, don't play with the RICO law. Oh yeah. All right. Yeah, tugs on heart. She's violent. She needs to be stopped. I just want to be able to come hang out with you guys, talk about things that I enjoy, that you cases, true crime cases, and to be able to be around you guys. Hang on 1 second, guys. Good Lord. Thank you, Yvette. I love you. Thank you for that, for doing that. I could get 1 to 20 years in prison. Thus, this is serious. I read. Why did I say I? They could get 1 to 20 years. Here's the thing. I don't even want anybody to go to jail. I don't want any of that. I don't want anybody to go to jail. I don't want to take anybody's money. I don't want to disrupt anybody's life. All I want is for her to do what she does and let me do what I do. Stop doing things to where I have to worry about my children's happiness and well-being affected. Okay? Why? Because you hate me? Hate me silently. How about that? And that's all I'm going to say.
Filed an injunction. Sebastian Rogers. News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry breaks down statements included in this lawsuit.
An 18-page injunction backed by a 323-page list of exhibits and testimonies was filed last Friday. The plaintiffs include Dog the Bounty Hunter, Sebastian Rogers' father, Seth, and the father's spokesperson, Tony Matt.
So like I said, like you gotta give in order to receive. You know what I mean? It's gotta be a give and take. You can't just like, what about me? Me. Like with Brittany and all that. You know, everybody's all me. Everybody's so selfish and so just like about themselves. And it's like we're supposed to be like social beings. Like that's what we crave is interaction with others. But not like this. This is crazy. I feel like we're gonna be like in the Thunderdome. Like, is that what it's called? With the team? Was it with the what is it? Mad Max and the Thunderdome or whatever those old movies. That's what I feel like these YouTube streets are sometimes. Just like getting down and dirty like that. That's crazy, and it's sad, and it's disappointing, and it's just a whole bunch of just ugh.
Mathis, as well as YouTuber Andrew Griffin. The lawsuit alleges 2 influencers, a YouTuber and TikToker, created a, quote, coordinated campaign of cyber harassment, false allegations, and witness intimidation. The lawsuit ties back to the search for missing Sumner County teen Sebastian Rogers. He was last seen in February at his family home in Hendersonville. Dog the Bounty Hunter joined
I
the
say
search for
57
Sebastian
and
in
free. Yep.
September
Quisenberry,
and
I
added
think she's extremely
$75,000 the
biased.
reward for information, now
She didn't
totaling
do her full reporter
$125,000.
duties
The
to kind
plaintiffs
of,
claim the
look
influencers
full
encourage
circle
their
at the whole story
subscribers
from
to
all
flood tip
sides.
lines and law
She
enforcement
stuck
with
with
false
one narrative, and that
reports,
was
have
it.
threatened Dog the Bounty Hunter and other searchers, allegedly slowing down critical travel and coordination for search efforts. A spokesperson for Sebastian's father said one of the influencers threatened to, quote, take him down, while Sebastian's dad wrote, quote, I'm fighting against a coordinated group of individuals who seem more interested in destroying me than helping to find my boy. He went on to say, quote, if my son dies out there, they'll have blood on their hands.
I
The
can't see like
lawsuit
the
urges
thumbs
the
up or anything like
influencers to
that, but if you
stop
guys
any
could, if you guys haven't
disparaging
yet, you
comments
guys could
about the plaintiffs,
flick that
remove
either
any
up or down.
previous
It
video
doesn't matter. It
content
fixes the
doing so,
algorithm either way.
and ask their subscribers to
I know
follow
this
their
is a
example. A
this is
press
like a
conference.
rough draft of a
You are
stream,
going to
but
tell me that
hey,
any of
at
them
least
would
I
have
did it. I
said
stepped
no
out the box.
to a pro bono lawyer? I don't believe it, especially. And I gotta be careful. I can't say much about litigation at all. Okay. But I think it's okay for me to say, especially, right, when their children are being brought into this, right? Basically, why am I doing it on the path that I'm doing it on? And basically, why am I taking part in this filing and not doing it on my own volition? Well, do you have several $1,000s to hire an attorney to file litigation?
For the skunks, we gave you guys a lot of chances, and the ones that are still running around, you know who you are. Um,
You should think about that beforehand.
I've never seen something like that, and I am very interested to see what the court's reaction is going to be. Because love me if you want, hate me if you want, call me a fraud if you want, call me fake news if you want, call me a felon if you want, call me a parolee if you want. The law is the law. So when you go into court, you can't tell the judge, Your Honor, he's on parole, so I can get. Please give me a break. That's not going to work. If you think that's going to work, re-strategize. And there are more people that are being added. That is, I guess, the big news. Not really big news. It's just a few more. And guess what? There's going to be 50 people by the end of this. So more are being added. As of yesterday, more defendants have been added to the case. Not many, but we are aiming for 50. And that's the number that we have. Likely 49, or I think it was 49, the actual number. But that's a lot of people that are going to have a lot of explaining to do. It's not a joke. It's not a joke at all. It's with the courts. They can't just say, oh, we're throwing this in the trash. No, everybody's going to get heard. All 10 plaintiffs, in addition to the next batch of 10 that are being added, will be heard. So again, it's a class action injunction. It's not a lawsuit. It's an injunction. And it's a serious thing. And I don't care if you don't take it serious. I am just giving advice, I guess, to the people that don't. You should, because there's no to drag yourself into something that we all know you won't be able to afford to get out. Now, maybe there are YouTubers, not in this case, on YouTube that can afford litigation. Probably two. And that includes people that have 150 million followers and subscribers. Not anybody that has under a million. Not anybody that has under 15. If you have under 25 million subscribers and you think you're going to win, stop. Again, the company that is coming for you has gone after Jeff Bezos. And subscribers. Not anybody that has under a million. Not anybody that has under 15. If you have under 25 million subscribers and you think you're going to win, stop. Again, the company that is coming for you has gone after Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon. Same people that are behind this. And at the end of the day, they won. He lost. He's the world's richest man. So it's obvious that it's not going to work. If you don't live here, and there are a number of you that don't, that are being added to the case, that doesn't mean that you're not going to be compelled to come to Pennsylvania. The way it works is we file here, add you to the case, then send an attorney from, let's say, Virginia to a court in Virginia where they'll have a hearing without you there. They will enforce that subpoena and that case against you. And then deputies in Virginia will serve you. And you want to be part of the case because you're a problem? It's an open invite. Ask the two people that are being added. That I'm sure if they know, cool. If they don't, they'll know tonight or tomorrow. They should know. Maybe they're keeping it quiet. But ask them what they would do different 2 weeks before today. You know what they would have done different? They would have stayed out of this because this is serious. There is a child that is missing, and a corporation that's going to stop at nothing to find him. They will take you to court in all the states that they have to. They will drag you on a tour from New York to Florida to Tennessee to Pennsylvania, everywhere we have an office, you will be there. So don't jump in. We want to work with you guys. We want to work with creators. We want to work with YouTubers. And guess
A
what? We are.
corporation, he said.
Not just the
A whole
creators that are
corporation, a
on
ghost
the
shell
Sebastian case,
company.
but we're talking to some very high profile creators that have nothing to do with true crime. Ones that operate YouTube.
Everywhere we have an
Ones that
office. He's so
their
stupid.
numbers are YouTube. Without them, they wouldn't be YouTube.
Oh my
Those are the
Lord, have
strategies
mercy.
we're working on.
Cracks me up. Anyway, this guy, I'm gonna look see in my, and I think I put it up to, I put it in this file storage, but I have some other stuff that maybe you guys might have not seen yet that when I was making connections back then, but no, but like I said, nobody wanted to really mess with it because it was so much so fast, and it's just oversaturated with a bunch of just all this shenanigans and all this BS. So it's hard for people to focus and keep people focused on just, one thing at a time. So I get it. So I'm going to look at my archives, but this guy right here, I wonder how he feels now, all these people, what he says. How are you feeling there, Mr. Nick? And then he let Hong just go wild, you know what I mean? On but I'm like, was it really Hong, or was it, a little bit of Hong, a little bit of Nick? Because you don't know who's behind the keyboard. He's like, I'm gonna let him take over. Okay, all right. So is that you're just because you're saying it means that you were putting that stuff on the internet because that's what you kind of got incarcerated for doing weird stuff like that. But anyway, so I'm gonna look at my archives and see.
And you can be with the likes of those creators. You can be on the right side of this, and you can end up possibly coming out of this case as not a creator, but as an individual who was part of a movement that ended the hatred that has ruined the chances of finding out dozens of missing children. A legal team that we are assembling, aside from the one we have, they deal with appellate law, they deal with the Supreme Court of the United States, and we are hiring experts in the field of essentially the rights you get as being an American. As when you're born in America, you have, or if you are a US citizen, you have rights. You have a constitution that protects those rights, and there are laws. They have to be followed. So that's the update, guys. There really is nothing to report per se, except that Sebastian is still missing. And again, um, the goal is to bring him home by getting the skunks to slow down. And I'll stop calling them skunks when they stop spraying the hate. I wouldn't, honestly, I'm the kind of person, and if Granny's watching, I'm the kind of person that would, at the end of the day, shake your hand and say thank you for stopping that and helping us find Sebastian. If that's your goal, call our lawyers. We'd love to speak with you. We offered that to Barbecue. You know what she said? Get effed. And now, look what she's doing. Don't go down with her because you want to set an example. It's not going to work, but it will work for you to have a great career.
This is
On YouTube, if you get away from those weirdos that are trying to drag you in and probably make you a scapegoat, that's
Did
honestly
we
the
feel
vibe I'm
threatened?
getting. I'm sorry.
Woo!
I guess I'm giving you advice that
Shaking
I
in our
shouldn't
boots
because it would be
still.
great on my end if they
It's
were to
weirdo.
take you out themselves, but it's just
Look at the dog.
I don't want to give them that satisfaction. I
The
know that
dog.
they are that
The
dirty,
dog.
and if they're gonna do that to you,
That's hilarious.
we'll take you in before them. Even though we're the ones suing you, we are suing you only because we want you to stop breaking the law. Stop breaking the law. Stop. That's it. You can discuss the case. You can give opinions. You can't say stuff like, this individual is a murderous pedophile. You can't say that. You can't say that this individual had something to do with somebody that died on their yard. You can't say that. Now, the fact that the people that you never met are willing to help you speaks
Yep.
volumes, because
That guy was shady too.
it does. It speaks volumes. You're taking advice from the wrong people, the people that are going to make you a scapegoat, and I feel bad. I feel bad. That's why I'm telling you this. I know we have our differences, but we are from Delco. I don't think we ever met, but I will tell you that these TikTokers are trying to make you the scapegoat. It's obvious, because when you went on that panel, if you notice and go through the comments, you'll see that they kind of hyped you up to get on the panel, and then they gave you the right line of questioning to go with their case. But I guarantee you the lawyers are saying, hey, get Granny to go on there. We can try to throw stuff on her. Do you really think
What
that
is
Barbecue
Delco?
Lady is going to save you? Please give me a break. She wouldn't save herself. This isn't an invite only. It's open invite. If you want to invite your friends, invite your friends. We've got plenty of space. We have a lot of space. I think you can have as many people as you want. So tell your friends if they want to get involved. It's never too late. Even if on the day before this is over, they can still get involved, and it'll just prolong it by another 4 years. That's fine. But we're not going anywhere until not just that first layer of hate is gone, but until the individuals that we are speaking with every day, the likes of YouTube compliance, he's the vice president of YouTube's compliance department, the division that goes over doxing. We're speaking with TikTok's compliance for their American. They have to follow a lot of U.S. law, given the fact that they are an overseas organization, and they are cooperating. You know why? They don't like against the law stuff. I know some of you think you're slick.
So this guy says would they stop spewing that hate and the skunks and he wah 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 and all this and that. But I do recall he was what is he doing on Backpage? Uh ordering escorts to go to the neighbor's house, and he was watching, and they were specific of a specific race, and so they would go in there, and then he would call the cops or something, and they would, to cause all that chaos and commotion. And I guess he would yell out of his window, I don't know what window of his house, but he would say, you effing n-word, every single time, that he was doing it purposely. I have the transcripts of his whole court hearing, and it talks about that. It talks about everything that he did in specifics. So maybe one day I'll bring that out, because nobody wanted to touch that. Nobody wanted nothing to do with that, and I thought it was the most interesting part, because it tells you specifically exactly what transpired, like word for word, like all the witnesses and everything, the reporters that he impersonated, the people that were on the stand, everything. I got it off of a public site, and I just stumbled across it. I was like, "Oh snap!" But yeah, it's a pretty thick, it's pretty long transcript, but it's extremely interesting, because it says specifically what he did. Some really, yeah, yeah, he did some crazy. Like people do say that he did it, but I don't think you really understand until, like, the degree of it, until you actually see those transcripts. Because wow, he's talking all this mess, and he's a dirty dog. He's a scum at the bottom of the barrel.
And you're gonna wait a month or two and then try to jump in. It's not happening. We're pulling you guys in, even if we think you're good. Even if you haven't said much yet, you're getting pulled in if you said just one thing, just so we can make sure that you're not going to pop out again. That's been the problem that this Tennessee has had for the past year, is every time they think they solve the problem, another 15 idiots pop out with the same thing. Not happening here. We have a list of everybody that did that last time, and they're being added to the case. And we have a list of people who might do it this time, and they're being added to the case. That's the beautiful thing about RICO. You don't need to know each other. You just have to have connections that ultimately link with one another. I am pretty sure that barbecue has a connection that 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 knows Clue, that knows every, so that's how Rico works. It's not about, I don't know that person. Well, I know you don't. That's the beautiful thing about it. This is your first modern day Rico case, and it's going to make case law because this case is going to decide if Rico is applicable to gangs on the internet. And I will leave it up to the courts to decide that. But this is going to be a benchmark case because they will decide, is Rico applicable to YouTube creators? Is it? I don't know. We're asking the court. We'll find that out, and obviously you will too. As soon as we have a hearing date, we'll let you know. There will be a hearing, and there will be many hearings. It's not going to be just one. And as far as Granny's watching, if you are watching, this was in no way meant to slam you, but you are being taken advantage of by the other side, being your co-defendant. They think that, honestly, if I were you, I would have an attorney before you speak with her and her attorney because her attorney is telling her what to tell you and it's helping their strategy. Not that I care about strategy, but it's a shame to see you get really thrown into the ringer by the same person that is protecting you. Please reach out to Joe Lesniak if you want, and he can, if you have an attorney, put him in touch with him. And if you don't, still, Joe is happy to help you find an attorney for the first appearance, I'm sure, and also so you can have an attorney present when we discuss getting out of this thing for you. Because there's a way out for some of the people that are in this. Others, there is
Yeah,
no way
you could
out.
hear
There's
like
no way out.
the poly
And
day grip
I
or
think
poly
this
grip
is
or
what
whatever,
the judge is going to
trying to
decide
hold
their
on.
ultimate fate. But some of you have a way out, and Granny, you are one of them. You are somebody that has a way out. Just if you have an attorney, please have him reach out to Lesniak. If you don't, still, you could shoot Lesniak an email. You can call him. He's allowed to. I believe he can speak to you as long as he gets you an attorney or helps you get an attorney. But we will make sure that that happens if we have to. Again, please reach out. Stay safe, everybody. Stay vigilant. Stay out of the way. If you are a random person that's watching this, like no matter what, we're not ending. We're not settling. We're going through litigation. We're going through depositions, and we're going to go to trial for some of these people. We're not going to. This is going to be a 4 to 5 year litigation. Let me put that back in. This won't end until the year 2030. There's going to be a new president, a whole new world by then. That's when this is going to be over. So next time you click go live, think about that. And if you want to be stuck on that live until 2030 with the rest of the people that are, that's fine. If you do, think about that. It's going to be a very long time because by the time this thing gets to a jury, we're talking 6 years.
Somehow say that because I signed a small portion of that filing that I am responsible for when that couldn't be further from the case. Another thing too, other people's parts in that filing don't have anything to do with me. I don't know how people keep getting that mixed up, but that's not how it works. I have my part, they have theirs. You know, if something happens with mine, that doesn't have anything to do with theirs, or vice versa. Like, because I keep hearing that argument, like, so and so, uh, I don't know, they'll say so and so told us a lie or something, right? Therefore, that's going to make the whole filing implode. No, each person has a part. Yes, it's an entire filing, but each person has their part. Um, and people are like, well, you should know about everybody's. No, I shouldn't. That's not the only the only thing that I need to focus on is my own.
Okay, we're going to take a look at the actual relief sought in this injunction because BJ wants to keep saying that she wasn't asking for anything but Granny to shut up about her. what they were really asking for did include money and several other things. And BJ, you're not separate from the rest of the plaintiffs. It is all one case. So let's look at each thing. Relief sought, wherefore plaintiffs respectfully request that this court enter judgment in their favor and against defendants, granting the following relief. And we have a preliminary injunction, and the first one is prohibiting them from disclosing or recording any private conversations. That's not a problem for Granny, so that one's not a big deal. Now, in my opinion, number 2 is where we already start seeing what I think was an attempt to railroad Granny and Barbecue into being quiet because they know that they're single mothers without the resource to defend themselves without the help of their platforms. So number 2 said direct defendants to cease the use of crowdsourcing or fundraising platforms, including but not limited to GoFundMe, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Pay, YouTube Super Chats, to solicit funds for legal defense or any other purpose related to litigation. All fundraising must be transparent and no misleading statements about the case. Again, I think that they knew that they would not be able to afford this without the help of their platforms. And this was, in my opinion, an attempt to shut them down right at the start. If they can't raise money, they can't go any further. And I think that was the plan. Number 3, prohibiting Granny and Barbecue, along with their associates, from making defamatory or disparaging statements regarding Seth, Tony, At Night, or any other named individuals, whether direct or indirect, through any platform or medium, to prevent further harm to plaintiff's reputation and emotional distress. Now, I don't know, does this mean that they get to set what they say, what they think are disparaging terms? Because different people feel like different terms are disparaging. For BJ, emotional distress could be caused by her hair looks green. So I feel like, this is a very fine line. You could easily infringe on their free speech because you're telling them basically they can't say anything negative about any of the plaintiffs. So where's the line on that? How did they decide what is disparaging and what isn't? And then number 4 is again about doxing, directing defendants, Barbecue Granny, to cease any attempts to portray, disclose, release private information, identities, or family details of plaintiffs and associated individuals, whether through social media, public forums, any other channels, to protect safety and privacy of those involved. Okay, that's not an issue, not a big deal for number 4. Okay, number 5 is a big deal. Require defendants, Barbecue and Granny, to immediately remove any existing online content, video, post, publications that reference any of the 10 plaintiffs in a defamatory, harassing, or intrusive manner, and certify in writing that it's been permanently removed. Now, this is going to include any video that they feel is disparaging to them. And again, I ask, who decides what is disparaging? What is harassment? Because we know that BJ has a very low threshold for harassment. So that's going to be a lot of content that Granny has to remove, and that is money lost. When you take down all of that content, you're losing revenue and view hours. So it is a big deal. And it's also infringing on free speech because there are going to be things that aren't defamatory by law, but they feel are negative towards them that she has to take down simply because they don't like what's being said about them, in my opinion. And number 6, BJ, listen up. Order defendants, Granny and Barbecue, to reimburse plaintiffs for any cost incurred in addressing or mitigating harm caused by defendants' unauthorized disclosures and defamatory conduct, including, but not limited to, legal fees, investigative costs, and any necessary remedial actions. Now, in my opinion, they are going to try to get as much money as they can. And you have to remember, in Pennsylvania, if there's RICO charges included, all monetary awards are ×3. So what this would come down to is if they took the retainer that Lesniak usually gets from people. I know they didn't pay it, and I don't know how this would work, but if he were able to take that retainer and get that ×10 plaintiffs, so Granny and Barbecue would each owe that retainer fee, let's say it's 100,000. I know it's not, but say it's 100,000. So they would owe that times 10, and then each 100,000 is going to be times 3. So you're going to have 300,000 times 10 plaintiffs. So whatever amount they come up to, and I don't know how they are going to determine investigative cost, is that BJ gathering clips and how much time was actually spent on that? Is somebody keeping track of that? How much do they charge? Like, how do they figure that out? This feels like a very generalized amount that could include a whole lot of things because it's not limited to what they listed there. So yes, BJ, there is a request for money. It is definitely involved, and it's times 10, and then times 3 if RICO is included. Okay, number 7. This is why Granny kept saying she is fighting this for everybody, because this, in my opinion, is trying to silence us as viewers, supporters, okay? Mandate that defendants inform their audiences, including followers, supporters, subscribers, and associates, which I assume are creators that they associate with, to cease and desist from all defamatory, harassing, or threatening behavior and provide evidence to the court. Now, again, this is what defines harassing or threatening behavior, because all people have a different threshold for that. And again, BJ's is very low. So they want Granny to come on and tell everybody that is in her audience and the creators that come on her panel, you cannot talk negatively about these 10 people while you're on my panel or while you're in my chat. So that is controlling our free speech, because we should be allowed to talk about what we want, how we want. We shouldn't go into someone's chat and be told you can only talk positive about these people. That is trying to control the audience's free speech and keep us from talking negatively about BJ, about Tony, about Seth, about all of these people. And I think that that's exactly what this means. That is my interpretation, that they are trying to control even what her audience is allowed to talk about. And number 8 is just any other relief that the court deems just. And that's the preliminary injunction relief. So that would go into place once it's filed and before they go in front of the judge for the actual trial. And luckily, anti-SLAPP law exists in Pennsylvania. And we see the message that Tony sent to Barbecue Lady that says basically, I don't care if I win or lose, I just want to make you pay. Basically, I'm punishing you by making you spend all this money, and I don't care if I win or lose. So anti-SLAPP shuts stuff like that down. It keeps people from being financially drained in cases that are unjust. And in this case, the judge decided that this was infringing on free speech. It was trying to shut down their free speech. So when the anti-SLAPP is granted, that should put a stop on the financial draining. Now, of course, they've appealed, so there's more financial stuff going into it. But if the court holds the anti-SLAPP judgment up, then the court fees incurred during this appeal time will also be awarded times 3. So hopefully that happens, but it was just the relief sought in the preliminary part of the injunction. And number 8 is just any other relief that the court deems just. And that's the preliminary injunction relief. So that would go into place once it's filed and before they go in front of the judge for the actual trial. And luckily, anti-SLAPP law exists in Pennsylvania. And we see the message that Tony sent to Barbecue Lady that says basically, I don't care if I win or lose, I just want to make you pay. Basically, I'm punishing you by making you spend all this money, and I don't care if I win or lose. So anti-SLAPP shuts stuff like that down. It keeps people from being financially drained in cases that are unjust. And in this case, the judge decided that this was infringing on free speech. It was trying to shut down their free speech. So when the anti-SLAPP is granted, that should put a stop on the financial draining. Now, of course, they've appealed, so there's more financial stuff going into it. But if the court holds the anti-SLAPP judgment up, then the court fees incurred during this appeal time will also be awarded ×3. So, okay, now we're going to look at the after trial, what the relief sought in the permanent part is. And a lot of it's the same, just permanent. Number 9 is prohibiting them from disclosing or recording any private conversations, which is not a big deal. I don't think they care about that. Number 10, permanently enjoining Granny and Barbecue, as well as any agent, employee, or affiliates acting on their behalf. We see the message that Tony sent to Barbecue Lady that says basically, I don't care if I win or lose, I just want to make you pay. Basically, I'm punishing you by making you spend all this money, and I don't care if I win or lose. So anti-SLAPP shuts stuff like that down. It keeps people from being financially drained in cases that are unjust. And in this case, the judge decided that this was infringing on free speech. It was trying to shut down their free speech. So when the anti-SLAPP is granted, that should put a stop on the financial draining. Now, of course, they've appealed, so there's more financial stuff going into it. But if the court holds the anti-SLAPP judgment up, then the court fees incurred during this appeal time will also be awarded ×3. So hopefully that happens, but it was just the relief sought in the preliminary part of the injunction. And number 8 is just any other relief that the court deems just. And that's the preliminary injunction relief. So that would go into place once it's filed and before they go in front of the judge for the actual trial. And luckily, anti-SLAPP law exists in Pennsylvania. And we see the message that Tony sent to Barbecue Lady that says basically, I don't care if I win or lose, I just want to make you pay. Basically, I'm punishing you by making you spend all this money, and I don't care if I win or lose. So anti-SLAPP shuts stuff like that down. It keeps people from being financially drained in cases that are unjust. And in this case, the judge decided that this was infringing on free speech. It was trying to shut down their free speech. So when the anti-SLAPP is granted, that should put a stop on the financial draining. Now, of course, they've appealed, so there's more financial stuff going into it. But if the court holds the anti-SLAPP judgment up, then the court fees incurred during this appeal time will also be awarded ×3. So, okay, now we're going to look at the after trial, what the relief sought in the permanent part is. And a lot of it's the same, just permanent. Number 9 is prohibiting them from disclosing or recording any private conversations, which is not a big deal. I don't think they care about that. Number 10, permanently enjoining Granny and Barbecue, as well as any agent, employee, or affiliates acting on their behalf from making any defamatory or harassing statements regarding the plaintiffs and from engaging in any conduct intended to harm plaintiff's reputation, privacy, or safety. And again, with this, I ask who decides what harassing statements are, because BJ's idea of harassment is different from someone else's definition of it. And these are also people that are going to be a little more sensitive to whatever Granny and Barbecue say about them because they're angry at them. So who decides where the line is for that? That's my question as far as that goes. Also, I'm going to state real quick that I am not an attorney. I'm not acting as an attorney. Do not take legal advice from me. I'm just telling you what I'm reading and interpreting for myself as a public nobody, okay? Number 11, directing Granny and Barbecue to return any confidential or private information obtained during the course of their conduct, including but not limited to recordings, messages, other data related to plaintiffs in whatever form, and certify no copies remain in their possession. Now, in my opinion, as a nobody. This to me sounds like if they got any information about their families or any information from friends, anything personal, confidential, during, I guess, the whole time they've known them, that they're supposed to turn that over. Now, how in the world that happens, how they decide they've turned everything over and what they have, I don't know. So, but I don't, in my opinion, I don't think Granny has a lot of that. And if she did, I don't think she would mind handing it over. I think she wants anything to do with people, and that's just my take on it. I may be wrong, but I don't see that being a problem. Number 12, barring defendants Barbecue and Granny from contacting plaintiffs or any named individuals in this action, directly or indirectly through any means for any purpose other than court-sanctioned communication. Again, I don't think that this will be a problem. I don't think that that Granny wants to communicate with any of them. So, deal, in my opinion. Number 13, and this one I have a problem with, mandating defendants inform their audiences, including followers, supporters, subscribers, and associates, to cease and desist from all defamatory, harassing, threatening behavior, and provide evidence to the court that instructions have been issued. So again, I feel like that this is trying to infringe on the viewers' free speech. We don't know what they consider harassing, threatening, people take, especially when they're words written out in message or text form, people can take those the wrong way. And you're trying to tell a mass group of people that they can't talk negatively about these 10 people. That's crazy to me. And I feel like that's definitely trying to infringe upon a group's free speech. And this is why Granny has always said, I'm doing this for y'all too. She is doing this for the viewers and her supporters also, because part of this injunction is trying to silence us as well, in my opinion. Number 14, ordering Granny Barbecue to reimburse plaintiffs, all 10, for costs, expenses, and damages arising from their unlawful conduct, including punitive damages as appropriate for willful and malicious actions. So, again, we're here at the money part, BJ. They're asking for
I'm just letting her
reimbursement of all
speak.
10
She's better at
plaintiffs
saying
for
it than
all
I
the
am right
costs,
now.
damages, expensive, punitive damages. So, this would be a high number, in my opinion. Again, you have to remember it's going to be times 10 plaintiffs, and it's going to be tripled because there's RICO involved. So, BJ, to keep repeating, she's not asking for money. Flat lie. That is definitely a part of this injunction. Reimbursing them, along with punitive damages. So, I'm tired of hearing it. Quit saying it, BJ. You are asking for money. You realize it or not, whether you read this or not, whether it was explained to you or not, if you actually read through it, you will see part of the relief sought is reimbursement and punitive damages. And that would be Granny and Barbecue from kids having to pay 10 individual plaintiffs tripled out of money. And then number 15 is any further relief that the court deems appropriate to prevent further harm to the plaintiffs. So there you have it. And you have to remember that a lot of people, I think, have forgotten how and when this started, how big of a deal this was. These two women are being accused of RICO, a criminal enterprise. This went to the news. It was stated on mainstream media that if something happens to Sebastian, Granny and Barbecue will have blood on their hands. And this is all in Granny and Barbecue's backyard. This is their state. People think that that is not a dangerous thing to put out there. They are putting out that these women stopped the searching for this child because of their actions. All of this was done under Sebastian's name. And for the life of me, I don't understand how Granny or Barbecue did anything to impede on this search from Pennsylvania. Look, if you don't like Granny, that's fine. You don't have to. If you think that what she said about Seth was horrible and vile, I take it that you weren't listening to BJ at the time, or Justin, or Julie's chat, or Lolly's chat, where they were saying horrible things about Chris and Katie. They were describing her SA as a child in detail, accusing her of horrible things, talking about Chris doing horrible things, accusing them blatantly. Like, Granny was not doing that. Granny was actually maintaining that these parents aren't going to be honest with us. We're fighting over people that we don't know. Did she get angry when reviewing interviews and emotional and said some things that may have offended people? Yeah, but it was things that she was interpreting from what she's hearing. And everybody is doing that when they're listening to interviews in true crime. So I understand if you don't like the way she does it, don't listen to her. Nobody deserves to go through this in court. I would not approve of any creator going through this. And now she's being sued again. Granny has said nothing different than any of the other trauma creators. It's just who you piss off if they're willing to take the time and money to take you to court. And I hope everybody remembers that, because if you piss off the right person, it's going to be you. BJ starts private messaging with them. Suddenly, it's 911. BJ's got to collect everything she can, and she's thrown into a Discord that has a litigation lounge. She didn't know barbecue. She didn't have interactions with her. She didn't get put in litigation lounge because of barbecue. It's because of Granny. She said in her message, Nick's going after Granny first because she's local. Because what's that mean? Local means barbecue and Granny equal Rico. Any damages they get paid out, tripled when Rico's involved. Just my opinion. I mean, the 3 times payout isn't my opinion. That's the law in Pennsylvania. But as far as everything else goes, that's my opinion on how things played out. Just really look at it and try to be neutral.
The fact that they didn't choose to end this whole injunction by just agreeing not to speak on you and your family tells me all I need to know about them and their intentions. Exactly, Ivy League. That's all it's ever been about. It wasn't to take her down. It wasn't to take her freedom of speech. It's not that hard to stop speaking on another person. It was merely to get her to leave me alone and just stop. Reason that I know for me, every one of us signed that filing. It wasn't because she lies and says that I did that to hurt her or to, with nefarious reasoning. No, it was to make you stop. To make you stop. So, I mean, it's just to do was to stop talking about Brittany. Not hard. I guess it's for someone who can't make money in other ways, though. Yeah, no, they don't want to do that. She doesn't want to do that. The rest of them don't either. They want to keep going, and she's the victim. It's crazy. What world are we in? And
As far as I know, you guys originally weren't asking for any like monetary.
Nope.
So
nope.
By you know, because I know that when you say like you have children and why would you do this, blah blah blah, they're gonna be like, well, we have children.
Brittany has children. Yeah, there was nothing that.
Yeah, right.
You weren't
Yeah.
really asking them for money.
Money, her house, or nothing. Just not even her
Nothing.
freedom of speech, dude. Just
No,
don't.
I just wanted the judge to tell her to leave me alone.
Yeah, leave these people alone. It's
And
it's
look what
weird
happened.
how. Yeah, it's karma.
You're leaving me with no choice but to go to a damn judge like you're a 5-year-old. I got to go run and tell the teacher and ask them to make you shut the hell up because you don't know how to be an adult and do it on your own. That's what it is. That's it. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm simply asking the judge, hey, judge, can you please make this woman leave me and my family the hell alone? All I'm asking is for you to tell her to zip it and leave me the fuck alone. She can continue talking about whatever she wants to talk about. I'm not taking her freedom of speech away. I'm asking for her to merely, one person to another, leave me alone. It's not that hard. It's quite simple, actually. Actually, it's a lot more simple than people are making it.
That's insane. You know, and I think that was a great like archive of exactly how that transpired. Actually, I'm impressed on how she kept such a, you know what I mean, a chronological, uh, you know, the way she did that video was perfect. I'm so tired. I was looking through my files because I have all that stuff that So what do you guys think? I think it's a good. I think this thing should be played on loop over and over and over. You know, because she can't run from that. This says everything that she says she hasn't done, and yeah, too late, too bad, too sad for you. You know. Oh well, go kick your rocks and whatever. But it's sad that barbecue and them. You gotta think of how much stress that's gotta be stressful. And then still try to hold that persona because you don't want to let anybody else see a weakness either. Because I mean, it's not like they had them because they fought it. That's crazy. But so I'm going to just I'm gonna get out of here, and I want to thank you guys for coming. If you guys can hit the like button, hit the down button, whatever you want to do. Thank you for showing up, and I swear next time it will be more concise and in order. Like I said, just take me a second. I'll be a professional before you know it. But thank you guys so much for coming. Kimberly, 57 and Free, KT, um, what is it? Glitter is Forever. Thank you guys so much for just sticking around and just being here. I appreciate you more than you'll know. No, I'm just playing. So it's just thank you guys for coming, and I'm gonna play out a video that I initially made, like when I first was gonna come onto YouTube, and I made it more in tune for my kids. It was an intro, but I'm just gonna play that out. So you guys take care, and I my motto is, my tagline is designed to be different. It's okay to be against the grain. You don't have to be. I don't know. I don't want to be with the sheep. You got to think on your own, and you got to think critically. You got to be a critical thinker, and you got to think not always with your emotion. You got to make sure that you're utilizing your noggin too, your brain and your logic. So, and a lot of times we try to decipher things that are irrational thoughts. We have rational minds trying to figure out somebody who does irrational acts, and we will never understand it because we don't do those things. So that's why it's so probably intriguing to people to true crime and all this stuff. But this exploitation of all this tragedy and all this is just crazy. But anyway, thank you guys again for coming by, and we'll see you guys another time. Take care. All right, guys. I'll see you guys later. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you out there on the YouTube streets. Strap up and make sure you take a partner with you. So you got somebody somebody to help you up out of these sticky streets. You know what I mean? Because man, it gets hairy out here. But anyway, you guys take care, and I thank you a million times over. We'll see you again.